Not too bad at all. Thanks again for all the veterans.
Hear ye, hear ye, the court's in session, the court's in session now. Here comes the judge, here comes the judge. Stop being that word, the court's in the judge. Don't look like the word, the court's in the judge. Judge Shaw is the faculty, and he knows.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome our man in black for tonight's proceedings. Our umpires are Riley Barrington on the black, Trent Thomas at first, Bobby Crawford on second, and Connor Casey is on third. To the plate for the manager's meeting, our coach of the Tuatara, Stephen and our Shane Barkley. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's lineup for the Tuatara. Number 4, shortstop, Yoni Hernandez. Number 7, third baseman, Johnny Hamza. Number 2, second base, Josh Morgan. Number 3, first base, Jared Walker. Number 34, left field, Wan Seok Kim. Number 89, designated hitter, Andrew Mark. Number 12, right fielder, Josh McAdams. Number 35, the catcher, Bo Bishop. Number 11, center fielder, Max Brown. At the starting pitcher, Josh Colmeta. And we welcome the rest of the Auckland Tuatara squad. Ladies and gentlemen, and now introducing our Sydney Blue Sox, supported by our Barnacar buddies, the Campbelltown Caspers, the Campbelltown Ghosts, and the Macquarie Saints. In batting lineup, we have Jacob Eunice, Alex Howe, Andy Burns, Boss Mamaroa, Michael Krause, Trent D'Antonio, Randy Santi Esteban, Jack Murphy, Michael Campbell, and our starting pitcher, Josh Geyer, as we welcome the rest of the Sydney Blue Sox squad. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as our Barnacar buddies round the diamond, there will be a flag-raising ceremony performed by the 202 Cadet Unit, Blacktown, Sydney. Ladies and gentlemen, in preparation for the national anthems, the singing of the Australian and the playing of the New Zealand, please stand.
As we that are left grow old, age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now observe a full minute's silence. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now, as we are standing already, please leave your caps off for the playing of the national anthems, New Zealand and Australia.
Blue Sox TV, proudly brought to you by Sports Broadcasting Australia. Of course, we're broadcasting live on the YouTube channel directly from the home ground of the Sydney Blue Sox at Blacktown International Sports Park, Blue Sox Stadium. It's a wonderful Saturday night, the 11th of January 2020. And for those of you that have been tuned in, you will have seen the opening ceremony here. And a great dedication between the two countries of New Zealand and Australia, celebrating the bond of Anzacs from back in the World War II days, World War I. And the players, officials and everybody here in the crowd, absolutely magnificent. You could have heard a pin drop. They were fantastic. Hats removed, celebration between the Anzac bond between the two countries of New Zealand and Australia, as I just mentioned. And now we've got the Auckland Tuatara and the Sydney Blue Sox about to do battle on the field in front of us. Hello, I'm Paul Harradine, and along with Big Cam Hickson tonight, we're the Blue Crew once again, and we're ready to go for the final sprint of the Claxton Shield season 2019-20 as the Blue Sox and the Eastern Division leaders Auckland Tuatara will compete very, very strongly. This is a game that's on the line for both of these clubs. Tuatara leading the division, but certainly the Sydney Blue Sox, this is a vital game for the Blue Sox. They are fourth in the division. The top two teams go to the division championship game in 3 weeks' time, and it's a vital one. We know that the series is tied at 1-1, and we've got Sydney have to win tonight, and with me, Big Cam.
Yeah, thanks, Harrow. Good evening to you. Good evening to the viewers everywhere. We'll take this opportunity. I was down in the Blue Sox dugout a little bit earlier to talk to the new Blue Sox shortstop, Randy Esteban. So we'll go quickly to that interview as the players are taking the field, getting ready for Game 3. Welcome to Blue Sox TV, where we've been lucky enough to be joined by new Sydney Blue Sox shortstop, Randy Esteban. Randy, welcome to the Blue Sox.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
Great to have you here under what is a little bit for Blue Sox fans, trying circumstances. Gift a fan favourite. It is what it is, mate. Tell the viewers a little bit about your story, about your background. Born in Cuba, making your way to America, and eventually ending up here at the Blue Sox.
Correct. My father was a player for the Seattle Mariners organization, and after he defected from Cuba, decided to take me and my mom out. So I've been here since I was 5 years old, going on 24 years now, and haven't been back since, but I hope to be soon. Mom's getting married next month, so April, so I'll be around there at that time. But it's been a good journey. Been able to come here to the United States. My dad wanted me to experience baseball here to really get an opportunity, and so far it's paid off, I like to think.
And you were drafted by the Braves, decided to turn down the drafting in favour of finishing off your schooling, which is great. I know a lot of the young blokes, as soon as they get that opportunity to be drafted, they grab it, go off, and sometimes the career doesn't turn out the way they like. What did you do at school, and how is the career prospecting from there?
Well, it was the first opportunity I had to finish college, obviously, and I was the first person in my family to do that. So that's a big thing. I always wanted to be a role model to my brothers, which I have two. And finishing college was one of the big things I wanted to do. I ended up finishing school with the exercise science major, a bachelor's in that, and I plan on going back for my master's in strength and conditioning in the future. But it's been a good journey. I mean, it's helped me. College, all 4 years, helped me develop into the player I am today. Met a lot of people, a lot of coaches that just helped me become the player I am today, so I don't regret a single thing.
How did you find your way to the MacArthur Orioles down in the southwest of Sydney, and then, of course, onto the Blue Sox? It's a long way from America to the MacArthur Orioles.
It's a very long way, but you know how they say the baseball world is tiny, so everybody knows each other. I played in the American Association with the Gary South Shore Railcats, and one of the pitchers there, Jeff McKenzie, played in the state league here, and he's the one that put me in contact. He goes, "You want to go to Australia?" I said, "I've been dying to go to Australia." He goes, "I have somebody you need to talk to." Since then, I haven't looked back. I've been here since.
So debut the other night here for the Blue Sox. First at bat, you got hit by a pitch, so that was a welcome to Blue Sox Stadium. Last night, your number one hit for the Blue Sox. How are you finding the level of baseball here in the ABL?
Oh, I love it. It's the competitive nature that I'm used to, so I enjoy it. I love the competitiveness of going in and out every inning. Have to give your all every single inning that I can to help my teammates win. So it's nothing new to me. And I know in a couple more games I'll get even more comfortable towards the end of the season and hopefully get this team to playoffs.
That's what we're all after seeing Sydney make it through to the playoffs. Randy, Sandy, Esteban, thank you so much for your time. We hope to see a lot more of you on the diamond for the Blue Sox.
Thank you. The pleasure's mine.
And we'll be back with game 3, in fact, of the series between the Blue Sox and the Auckland Tuatara. A big game in this series with the teams locked at 1 apiece right here on Blue Sox TV very shortly.
And welcome to the action. You can see in front of you the game is underway already. The third pitch just being delivered from the Sydney Blue Sox to Auckland's leadoff, Yoni Hernandez. The defensive lineup that you can see on the field now for the Blue Sox. In right field, it's Michael Krause. Centre field, Michael Campbell. In left field, Alex Howe. The third baseman is Jacob Eunice. The shortstop, the man we just saw at interview, Randy Santi Esteban. The second baseman, the reliable Andy Burns. At first base, Boss Moanaroa. Behind the plate, Jack Murphy. And starting on the mound, you can see him right there, Josh Geyer. And Geyer has a 1-2 count against the leadoff.
Yeah, Yoni Hernandez leading off for the Tuatara. Johnny Homza bats 2, Josh Morgan 3, Jared Walker in the cleanup. Kiwi Kim, Wonsuk Kim in the 5 slot. Andrew Mark will bat 6, Josh McAdams 7, Bo Bishop bats 8, Max Brown bats 9. 2-2 the count on the first hitter of the game, Yoni Hernandez. And yeah, nice to catch up with Randy Santi Esteban. It's a bit of a story when your sort of dad leaves home and
Yep.
you know, he heads off to America, and he's got to come back and get you and your mother out at
Good
some
interview.
stage. So
As you said, he was born in Cuba, but he didn't live there for very long, and he's pretty much been ensconced in the USA ever since. Fantastic, and now he's over here enjoying our wonderful country, Australia. And the Blue Sox enjoying his presence this last series here.
this one fouled off into the beer garden. The count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. Josh Geyer on the mound for the Blue Sox. Had a very good outing last time around.
He had a very good outing with us on Thursday night behind the microphone. Did a sensational job, and we welcome him back any time that he's available. But his commitment now is on the field. The Blue Sox looking to take this game 3. They did have a very good win last night. It was a great performance to see from the Sox.
Yeah, 12 runs to 4. They took that one out last night if you weren't with us. Basically blew it open in the second innings, scoring 5 runs to take their tally to 6 after 2 innings. And basically home from there. We're looking forward to do the same thing tonight. Get those bats working early, score some runs, put the Tuatara under pressure. Oh, comebacker absolutely plucked out of the air by Geyer. Oh, how good is that to start the game from the young man on the mound?
Oh, yeah, for the Blue Sox.
Hard hit comebacker, and he just plucks it, turns around, throws it to Moanaroa, and there is the first out of the game.
1-3, pretty to see. That gives the Blue Sox immediate momentum. Andy Burns at second base, indicating that's a great throw. He's having fun already. 1 out, top of the first inning. Johnny Homza steps in now. Crowd member in front of our booth, you may not have heard that. He just named Josh Geyer as a machine.
Well, he is a machine. He's a machine.
Certainly is. There's a great exhibition. Reflexes extraordinaire. Working the outside edge on Homza. Blue Sox in a fantastic mood as we spoke to them downstairs pre-game. They're in a great mood after last night's win. They've got the wind at their backs. And speaking of wind, it's going
directly in as usual in this
from the right
ballpark.
side.
Almost straight in from centre field tonight, Harry. So going to be the sort of wind where we don't expect to see a ball hit out of the park at all. We can see some long balls hit maybe to the warning tracks. But generally with this breeze blowing at Blacktown, the ball doesn't get out of here.
We will, during the course of this game, we'll try to keep you up to date with those scores around the grounds.
Did we do the umpires, Harold? I don't know if we did the umpires tonight. Riley Barrington has the plate tonight. Trent Thomas has first base. Bobby Crawford at second. This guy fires one down on the inside edge to get the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Connor Casey looking after the third base side of things.
Another good crew.
The umpiring panel tonight. Probably the most experienced New South Wales baseball umpiring panel they could put on the diamond. Of course, Trent Thomas is the crew chief.
The men in black, I call them.
That is correct. I still think that should be their music. Here come the men in black.
not Here Come the Judge.
No, here come the men in black. That's a pretty decent sort of beat and song from Will Smith, the Fresh Prince.
And from the merchandise store tonight at the ground, they are the camouflage Blue Sox caps, looking very, very good.
The Blue Sox were going to be wearing those camouflage hats, except the players' versions got, let's just say they didn't quite make it here in time for the game. So there may be some more actual player style caps on sale for the Canberra series. So if you are coming to the Canberra series, you may be able to pick up a few extra camouflage hats as Johnny Homza picks up a base on balls. Homza walks. He's the first base runner of the night for the Tuatara.
That will set the Blue Sox up for a double play possibility.
Blue Sox turning a couple last night. Tuatara turning 5 themselves on Thursday night.
And those double headers are already underway, obviously, at the other grounds. Of course, the Melbourne-Geelong game was washed out last night.
This one hit high to centre field. Michael Campbell has to go quickly, but he has a beat on it now. He settles underneath it and takes a catch in deep centre field. Well hit ball by Josh Morgan, but too much elevation. And Michael Campbell takes the catch in centre field for the second out here in the top of the first.
Michael Campbell got over under that ball at 100% and in the end was waiting for it to drop into his glove. He got there very quickly, got into a great position, and no problem with that catch in centre field. Nice work, Michael Campbell and the Sydney Blue Sox.
Good evening to everybody on the YouTube live chat. I hope you're having a great evening wherever you're watching it from. So everyone there, Chris, Lance, Nicola, Emily, g'day to you all. Remember, we play nicely here in Sydney.
We certainly do. Early score, the Melbourne-Geelong game, 7 innings. First game, 12-2, Melbourne over Geelong, 12 runs to 2. Another early progress score for the early game in Brisbane. Actually, that might be over. 7 innings game. Brisbane over
Yep.
Canberra, 8-1.
Yep, that one's
8-1, Brisbane taking that game.
Jared Walker with a 1-0 count on him. Hits this one hard to centre field, but also elevated, and the breeze is just going to knock it down. Michael Campbell doesn't have to move far at all on this occasion, and he will make the catch in centre field. That will be the third out of the inning. So the Blue Sox will shut the Tuatara down here in the top of the first. Johnny Homza will be left aboard after picking himself up a walk. No score as we head to the bottom of the first between the Blue Sox and the Tuatara.
Now, for all your printer and copier needs, speak to the professionals at Mytronics. Mytronics are Australia's largest brand independent office equipment and supplies company. Mytronics are proud to be wholly Australian owned and operated and stock all the best and most famous brands of printers and copiers. Mytronics guarantee to better any valid Australian quote, so you can be sure you're getting the best value and service when you buy or lease your chosen products from Mytronics. So jump online and check out their massive range of printers and copiers, as well as all of the services they provide, including mobility and security. Go to mytronics.com.au. That's mytronics.com.au, MITRONICS, mytronics.com.au, and they are proud sponsors of the Sydney Blue Sox.
Yeah, they've got everything you could need in your office there, Mytronics. We've been into one of their showrooms, and the amount of stuff that they have is just absolutely amazing. Then you tack on top of it all the services that they provide. A fantastic company and a big supporter of baseball in New South Wales. So the Blue Sox having a good first inning.
And the defensive lineup for Auckland in right field, they've got Josh McAdams. The centre fielder is Max Brown. In left field, it's Won-Suk Kim. Third baseman, Johnny Homza. The shortstop, Yoni Hernandez. At second base, Josh Morgan. The first baseman is Jared Walker. And behind the plate, Bo Bishop. And starting pitcher for the Auckland Tuatara, Josh Colmenter.
Yeah, they've gone with their big leader. They know how important this game is. Both clubs know that this is a crucial clash in the divisional series. Auckland sitting atop with a 4-game lead in the division. And ever so slightly starting to look over their shoulder after dropping last night's game, wondering who won between Brisbane and Canberra. They were keeping an eye on the score down there in their dugouts to see who won it. So both teams know that this is a vitally important game in terms of not only the series but the division.
And it's a great run into the end of the season to the divisional championship game where all 4 clubs in the same division are playing off. And it's all vital, and Tuatara can see everybody coming after them, including the Sydney Blue Sox from 4th place.
And I do like the way, I know the ABL does cop some backlash over things over times, but I do like the way this draw has worked itself out this season. It is a really handy draw for the fans to really get behind the divisional series as they wind up and the teams charge for the playoffs. Cole Mentor, of course, a major leaguer, has got onto the mound and got Jacob Eunice to pop this one into shallow right field. Josh McAdams comes on and makes a comfortable catch out there in right. So Eunice down on a fly ball to right field to start the game off.
Tight start. Coming to the plate now, Alex Howe. Alex Howe has been one of Sydney's best performers. He's played extremely well out there in left field. Everything he's been asked to do, he's done very, very well. He's even been asked to catch at the back end of a couple of games. And with the bat and base running, wow, he has just been outstanding. The other game in progress at the moment, Adelaide Giants and Perth Heat, locked at 1-1 after 6 innings.
This one hit into the gap between first and second. It's got eyes and will get through into right field.
Great work, Blue Sox. Great work, Alex Howe.
Walker was after it. Morgan was after it, but it found a way through. Alex Howe continues his hot streak. Finds his way onto base with the first base hit of the game. He will stand aboard first base for the Blue Sox.
Momentum moves the Blue Sox way yet again. Andy Burns steps in. Temperature about 10 degrees cooler than last night, thank goodness.
Absolutely. It is actually a little bit chilly out here in the west of Sydney, believe it or not. After we were sweating through last night's 40 degrees, it's down in the 20s today. It's about 26 or 27 degrees out here in the west of Sydney, which is probably mid-80s from the mid-hundreds. So a big drop in weather. Just on Alex Howe, batting .310 for the season, and that is second only on the active players behind Andy Burns.
Great outcome.
Only 3 players for the Blue Sox batting over 300. Burns at 330. Gift Nagope, who we now know is out, and hopefully we'll have an interview with Gift in the last series. He has to undergo surgery on that wrist, and so he's going to make an announcement during the Canberra series. So we will bring that to the Blue Sox fans. We'll have a nice, in-depth, probably 5 or 6 minute interview with Gift. Hopefully game 1 of that Canberra series. Gift was batting .319 before he went onto the disabled list. And Alex Howe, he was the third into the 300s, batting .310. So he keeps that hot streak going, followed by the man leading the Blue Sox offense, Andy Burns, who now has a 2 balls, 1 strike count. Goes after it, pops it up, it'll get out of play. Of course, Cole Mentor with the Diamondbacks and the Braves in the Major League, so plenty of experience. And anyone who tunes into the Tuatara broadcasts will hear him up there in the commentary box when he's not engaged in the game.
I believe he reigns from Homer, USA. Good name for a baseball player.
Andy Burns is going to flare it into right field. It's going to sit down. It's going to be a tough play for Morgan. He'll have to pick it up right against the bullpen. They thought about sending Howe for a brief moment. They decide to hold him at third, and now the Blue Sox will have runners at second and third. Only 1 out, and Andy Burns will pick up double number 7 on the year, and that will give the Blue Sox a massive lift. Their bats were asleep Friday night. They're not asleep anymore. They were woken up in the heat of last night, and so far in this game, they stay hot.
And now striding to the plate, Boom Boom Boss Maonaroa. Let's see if the boss man can get the Boom Boom box working here tonight. Bottom of the first. Cole Mentor and Maonaroa staring each other down before that first pitch. Good to see. Good spirit in this game early.
This is the exact situation that you like Boss Maonaroa in. Auckland Tuatara not playing the shift on him, so he will take. He will look at the gap between first and second, what they call the 3-4 hole, as the challenge. That's where he'll be trying to hit the ball. He fouls one off and falls behind 0-2. Sack fly would be perfect for Boss. Base hit would be even better because he would score 2.
Yep.
Andy Burns runs well and has a good lead with Yoni Hernandez playing almost behind the bag at shortstop. Oh, that's a brave lead from Maonaroa. It only just missed the outside edge.
Yeah, Cole Mentor challenged him.
I think Cole Mentor thought he might have had him too, but not to be.
Good judgment from the boss man, it turns out.
Boss playing in game 248 tonight.
Oh.
And he swings, misses and goes down on a change-up. A good pitch from Cole Mentor. Made it look like it was a fastball. Maonaroa went after it. The bottom dropped out of it. Maonaroa strikes out swinging for the second out here in the bottom of the first.
And we get to Michael Krause now. Righty on righty. 2 out, 2 on for the Sox. Bottom of the first inning.
G'day to Steve and Nathan who are tuned in. They're sending a couple of tweets through. We'll get to all those contact mediums very, very shortly. Steve was out here last night. His young fella was bat boying.
Yeah.
He's back in the air conditioning tonight. Not that he needs it. He wanted it last night.
Yeah.
Of course, Nathan came up with his young man Wheels up here to say hello to us in the commentary box on Friday night.
Good name, little Wheels in there.
Krause gets onto this one, but it's going to tail foul over the Blue Sox bullpen and out of play. And Cole Mentor again quickly ahead of the very dangerous Michael Krause, 0-2. Krause last night was 2 for 4. A couple of RBIs and a run. Is 3 for 8 on the series. Settles in for an 0-2 pitch. Up high fastball from Cole Mentor misses. Just having a look, I'd say that Perth and Adelaide are playing a double-header today, are they, Harrow?
Yes, they are, Cam.
I'd say the first game might have just ended. I just see a very happy tweet from the Adelaide Giants. So I'd say they've walked it off in the bottom of the 7th for back-to-back walk-offs against the Perth Heat.
Good. After 6 it was 1-1, so they've gone ahead.
They've walked it off in the bottom of the 7th.
That'll be a 2-1 result.
But here in front of us, Michael Krause with a 2-2 pitch from Cole Mentor. Fastball challenges him in on the hands. Krause fouls it off. Stays alive. Nice pitch location from Cole Mentor. Michael Krause, of course, formerly with the Canberra Cavalry before making his way up the highway. So another 2 out, 2-2 pitch. Runners on second and third. He's outside. Good judgment from Michael Krause, and the count will be full now. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 out. A runner at third in the form of Alex Howe and at second in the form of Andy Burns. Can the Blue Sox get something on the board in the early stages and play from in front? They are a different team when they get an early lead. A swing and a miss from Michael Krause. He will go down on strikes. Cole Mentor gets out of a little bit of a jam there in that first innings, and he will get the Tuatara back to the dugout with no damage being done on the scoreboard. A pair of zeros as we are through one completed innings here at Blue Sox Stadium. The Tuatara and the Sox locked at zeros.
In 1928, Petrus Cornelis Nicholas Middendorp founded his business, Middendorp Electric Goods Supply Company, selling imported light globes, vacuum cleaners and other electrical products. Business began booming, so Petrus and his sons opened the first Middendorp branch in a converted church on La Trobe Street in Melbourne in 1956. This was the first of many branches that would eventually spread across the country, trading as middies in its signature pink colour.
Back at Blue Sox Stadium, both teams drawing a blank in the first, both having opportunities. Johnny Homza aboard and left stranded for the Tuatara for the Blue Sox. Alex Howe and Andy Burns. They went back to back with a single and a double. Couldn't convert that into anything. Colemente getting a dangerous Moanaroa and Kraus both out on strikes. That's where we stand as we head to the top of the second innings. If you do want to contact us, we'd love to hear from you here in the broadcast box. The SMS number, if you're in Australia, it is 0412 203 068. If you are in New Zealand, it is +61 412 203 068. You can send us a tweet. The handle is at Blue Sox TV. Or if you're nice about things, whack it on the YouTube chat. You've got to be a little bit careful with the YouTube chat. There have been some problems around the ABL, various feeds and whatnot, so it is being monitored very, very closely at this present time. Won Suk Kim to the plate for his first at-bat of the evening. 0 for 4 last night, 2 for 9 for the series, Kim. This one is hit hard, but it's up in the air. It's swirled around a little bit up there, but Michael Campbell all over it for the catch. And Kim retired on the third consecutive fly 8 for the Blue Sox and the Tuatara.
Going to say Campbell getting all the work to do tonight. He's got 3 outs already out of the 5 so far. 5 batters that have been up. Andrew Mark comes to the plate now. Designated hitter role for Auckland.
Just to answer a question on Emily about framing the pitches for catches. Yep. I don't think a catcher would ever get ejected for framing a pitch. The umpire might whisper in his ear, don't bother doing it anymore, I'm on to you. Or, I'm only going to call it where it finishes anyhow, so don't bother about it. But I don't think he would ever be ejected for it unless he turned around and framed it and then argued the fact that he believed that it was a strike when it wasn't. Usually the umpires are all over the framing. It has to be very, very subtle for you to get a call. And the umpires, especially when they get to this level, are all over the framing of baseballs.
Absolutely correct. And Adelaide, the top of the Southwestern Division, get that extra win now, so they just extend their lead a little bit over Perth.
Also makes it harder after last night's loss from Auckland for Auckland to get the number 1, or anyone in this Northeast Division to get the number 1 position in the playoffs.
Yep.
Which means that the team that has the best record in the ABL at the end of the regular season, should they make the championship series, they then have the choice of whether they have game 1 at their home venue or games 2 and 3 if required at their home venue. As we see Andrew Mark walk.
Yep, gets the base on balls there, does Andrew Mark. That brings to the plate Josh McAdams.
That's why finishing that in that number 1 position is such a big advantage. You have the home, basically home field advantage right through the series, right through until the championship series.
Shout out to Gordon Geyer. He's enjoying a nice dinner.
Runner goes, throw from Murphy, not in time. Did he hold the bag? No, he isn't. He's in all sorts of trouble and he's out.
Oh, nice out.
He beat the slide into the bag, but he couldn't hang on to the bag. And a good work by Andy Burns just to keep the glove attached onto Andrew Mark, who couldn't hang on to the bag. He was hanging on with fingertips, and then he just slipped off the edge of the bag. And a good work also by second base umpire Bobby Crawford to be right over the top of it, to see the hand come off and to know that Andrew Mark was in all sorts of trouble.
Not to mention the throw over from Jack Murphy. He got that ball over there, and he was able to get it to the glove of Burns, who was able to get that tag on and keep it on. That's the important thing for that throw over. Blue Sox in the ascendancy again. 2 out here, the top of the second inning. Josh McAdams at the plate. Josh Guy just working around, the infield ready. Regulation type positions. 2 out. Bases are clear, obviously, and gets McAdams swinging. So 3 down now. A great swinging strike out there. Josh Guy throwing that pitch outside, low edge. He gets him going with a K2. Auckland go 3 up, 3 down in the top of the second.
And just a very quick shout out from the RBI guys. RBI Australia, of course, down there at Smeaton Grange, a fantastic brand new hitting facility down there. They've got the Hit Tracks automatic simulation home run machine, and the Bears from the Central Coast went down there today to check out all the facilities and have a training session, use the Hit Tracks and have a little bit of a game amongst themselves. You can actually play simulation games on the Hit Tracks machines with the pitching machine throwing live pitching at you.
Sounds
you
good.
hit it. It takes all the simulations to where it was, whether it be base hits, etc. So a massive shout out to all the guys down there at RBI Australia, and of course the Bears from the Central Coast.
Sounds cool. Now, Design Choice brings every space to life with a design solution that is conceptually beautiful, practical, cost-effective and durable for even the toughest commercial environments. Working with clients and the furniture industry for 20 years, you can rely on their knowledge and high-quality items. The Design Choice team know that selecting the right piece of furniture can be the difference between becoming just another restaurant and becoming the new destination hotspot. To see some of their creative designs, head to designchoice.net.au. Design Choice are proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
That they are a fantastic website, a fantastic company. We thank them for their support. We are headed to the bottom of the second innings. Still locked at zeros.
Sorry, Cam, I nearly jumped all over you then. Head to the bottom of the second. Leading off will be our designated hitter for the Blue Sox, Trent Antonio. His walk-on music still going.
He's changed it this season.
Just a little.
He used to have Pearl Jam as his walk-up music, if I'm not mistaken.
There was a change in round 1.
He's changed it this season. Joe's running bunt. Can't get it laid down. Johnny Homza playing third base tonight. A little bit slow coming forward, but made no difference as D'Antonio couldn't get it on the ground. D'Antonio behind 0-1. Pitches outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That result in the first game between Melbourne and Geelong, giving Melbourne the win, and the Adelaide-Perth result puts Perth and Melbourne level on the standings.
Swing and a miss from D'Antonio. Gets down in the dirt, but Bishop gets a handle on it. He'll fire it up to Walker for the K2-3. And the first out here in the bottom of the second inning. That'll bring our new shortstop and the man we had a chat to pre-game, Randy Sandy Esteban, to the plate.
And Sandy Esteban doing a sensational job since he came in for the Blue Sox to replace Gift and Gope, who is injured, as we've discussed several times. And not only has he been good at the shortstop position, he's been pretty good with the stick as well. He was our most valuable player in last season's local New South Wales
State League, yep.
State League competition, taking out the MVP award. So a good acquisition for the Sox.
He's only 1 for 7 in the series, but on the back of that 1 for 7, He's reached on an error and he's reached on 2 fielders' choices, so it could have been a little bit better than the 1 for 7 as it looks at the moment. He is swinging the bat well. Wasn't real happy with that call, but just checking with the home plate umpire Riley where it crossed, and he nodded his head and said, yep, okay, no worries. Thanks very much for that.
As long as he knows, he can make an adjustment.
Breaking pitch from Cole Mendes. It's a chopper into the 5-6 hole. Cut off by Homza. Homza across the diamond for a nice throw, nice play, and a nice out for the Tuatara.
I'll tell you what, Santi Esteban hurried up that line because it took an excellent play to get him out. Otherwise, he was going to be safe. Any moment of hesitation by that defence there, the attacking Santi Esteban could well have made it. He was only a step away from being safe. But becomes the second out, and Jack Murphy steps into the left side tonight for his first at-bat.
And a called strike straight away on Jack Murphy. We had the debate previously whether Jack's better from the right or from the left. Let's see what he does tonight. Hits this one again at the 5-6 hole. Again, it's going to be cut off by Homza. And again, he's going to make a nice throw across the diamond for the third out. So the Blue Sox will go 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the second inning. And we are headed to the third, and we are still locked at 0-0 here at Blue Sox Stadium between the Auckland Tuatara and the Sydney Blue Sox.
Are you struggling with the rising cost of power? You are not alone. Over 2 million Australian homes have now installed solar. The average size solar system can save you around $500 a quarter, add value to your home and reduce your carbon footprint. SolarAy is Australia's largest independent solar and storage installer, located right here in Blacktown. Talk to the team at SolarAy to find out if solar is right for you. Visit solaray.com.au/Blue Sox today. SolarAy Energy, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
Back at Blue Sox Stadium. We've had a bit of a Tuatara blowout in game 1. We had a Blue Sox blowout in game 2. Are we going to see one of these fantastic pitches, Jules? It looks a little bit that way at the moment. Former Major Leaguer Cole Mendes going for the Tuatara, and local favourite for the Blue Sox, Josh Geyer, out there for the Sox.
And Geyer is full of vim and vigour. He's ready to go. He had his game face on earlier, and just walking by and having a chat, relaxed in previous to his warm-up, so just getting tuned in, balanced approach to the game, so that he goes out onto the mound for that first pitch tonight. He was ready.
Yeah, has started 7 games for the Blue Sox, has a 2-3 win-loss record, has given up 24 earned runs in 33 innings pitched, has an ERA currently sitting at 6.55. And that is only courtesy of 1 or 2 outings where he wasn't at 100%.
Yep.
And got taken to a little bit. He blistered on one of his pitching fingers and tried to pitch through it.
Yeah, exactly. We were here, I think. Bo Bishop at the plate for Auckland. And Guy throws first one outside low, just checking Bishop's reflexes to see if he can draw him into a swing. Oh, nice location on that one, just missing. Called strike, so he works his way back in. 2-1 count now for Geyer over Bo Bishop. Goes again. Same location, puts the fastball in, squares the count up at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, Geyer to Bishop.
He went with the cutter on that occasion, just tried to get it starting on that outside edge and running away. Bishop not having a bar of it.
Guy just waiting for a good ball to come back out. Plate umpire Riley Barrington just swapping those baseballs around. Fouled off directly behind home plate.
That was coming up here, Harry. That was mine.
Main thing is Guy got him swinging, and that's what Josh Guy is trying to work there. Tempting Bishop. Let's see what he can do, and he offers up. Just missing the outside edge. Very close. His location was pretty good, just outside, trying to get Bishop to go, but he didn't. but he issues a walk to Bo Bishop. So a runner at first for Auckland. That will bring to the plate their centre fielder, Max Brown. A few messages coming in. We will get to those as per normal as soon as we can.
Max Brown had a good night with the bat last night, going 2 of 3. Had an RBI and scored a run. We saw him do that last night with those big long legs of his. He dropped one down, one of his infield hits. He's hit to 5. He dropped it down, and Eunice played it as good as Eunice could play it. He played it well barehanded. It made the throw. But the big gangly legs of Max Brown got him up to first base. He beat it out by half a step in the end.
Yeah, he's tall.
Apparently his nickname previous to him being called Downtown Max Brown was Bambi on ice, because it looked like a deer trying to get some traction on frozen ground, apparently, when he took off from the batter's box.
Right. That one down low in the zone there for Jack Murphy to retrieve. Did a good job. Fresh ball goes out to Josh Geyer now. Runner at first, Max Brown at the plate. Set up for a double play. The Blue Sox infield. Strong defensive lineup. Straight to the strike zone from Geyer. No mucking around with that one. Just fastball through the bottom half of the zone.
He was struggling with the bat, Max, but 2 for 3 last night, 4 for 7 for the series. So he's one, especially in that 9 hole, that the Blue Sox have got to make sure that they get on top of.
So Geyer, as you can see, has a look at the runner. Just lets him know that he's there. Just missing down low. Top of the third inning here, as you can see on your screen. Runner at first is Bo Bishop. Called strike, nice work. He spins Bishop around, Brown around, I should say. Goes down looking on that one. He froze Max Brown, did Josh Geyer, and he goes down looking. One out now. Runner still stranded at first, and we go back to the top of the order for Auckland through Yoni Hernandez for his second appearance.
Yeah, that looked like a pretty poor choice of leaves from Max Brown there. That looked nothing other than a strike on what's been called so far tonight. Behind the plate by Riley Barrington, Josh Geyer got it in the perfect spot. I think Brown was looking for a cutter or something like that, and Geyer threw fastball. By the time he realised what it was by him. And it's like, I'm in all sorts of trouble. I'll just wander back to the dugout.
Yeah, nice pitch again from Geyer. Gets a strike on Hernandez, called by plate umpire Riley Barrington. Hernandez just nodded his head in agreement. Can't argue that one. It was there.
Probably taking all the way on that first pitch, trying to stretch things out now, especially with only one out and a runner on first.
Now fouls one up. Takes it for 2. He's still nodding his head, though.
Maybe we've got the Yoni Hernandez bobblehead out there tonight. Of course, Jack Murphy and Gift Nagope bobbleheads available at this Blue Sox merchandise shop.
They certainly are, and don't they look wonderful. 0-2 the count. Ground ball. Boss Monaroa. Across the shortstop.
What a double play that is.
Excellent double play. That was a sensational double play. Monaroa heads up baseball. Fielded that. Got it straight across to Sandy Esteban at shortstop, stepping on the bag. And backing up at first base, they got the double play and turned it.
Probably the toughest double play in baseball to turn. The 3-6-3 is probably one of the toughest, but a 3-6-1 double play. Monaroa going towards second base, just picked it up and decided to keep going that way because he didn't have a lot of options. And Sandy Esteban, the perfect throw to Josh Geyer, who doing what a lot of pitchers might not have done. They might have stood there and watched the play develop in front of them. He didn't. He charged across to first base just in case, and he was required as the Blue Sox turn an inning-ending double play to get out of that top of the third inning. So
a wonderful exhibition of baseball from the Sydney Blue Sox there, and perfect turn of that double play after getting Max Brown out on a looking strike. That double play was just excellent. That would be a great educational video for young teams and young coaches. Coach your players for that. The backup from Josh Geyer off the pitcher's mound was just sensational.
Lush Greenery is your comprehensive commercial supplier for all your artificial greenery requirements. From concept to conception, they are there every step of the way to help you along and to make sure that your garden area or interior area looks amazing. Lush Greenery covers all of the interior and exterior designs, and they stock a large range of barn doors, green walls, planter boxes, climbing vines, you name it, they've got it. So have a look at a few of the samples and a few of the wonderful pieces of work done by Lush Greenery. Head over to their website, lushgreenery.com.au. Lush Greenery are proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
And now stepping in for the Sox, Michael Campbell batting in the 9th slot for his first appearance, the centre fielder. And straight away, Bo Bishop, the catcher for Auckland, moves his field around, moves the infield around with the corners in at third base. Fouls the first pitch off from Cole Menter.
Everybody clap your hands. Clap, clap, clap your hands. Clap, clap, clap your hands.
Cole Menter gets Campbell swinging on that one. So Campbell falls behind in the count, 0-2.
It's a bit rude.
Welcome back, Cam.
Take three for the third time today, Harrow.
That was one of those blue Blacktown mozzies.
I was just about to say, this is probably the biggest challenge that the Blue Sox have faced in terms of a pitcher. Josh Colmender is probably, if not the best, as a breaking pitch gets Campbell swinging on strike 3. If he isn't the best pitcher in the league as we stand, he is at least in the top 3 in the Australian Baseball League, without question.
And his experience just shows through.
And that way, as I said, the Blue Sox, if they can find a way to get at Colmenter, get him out of the game, get a few runs, take him deep into his pitch counts, they're a massive chance of being able to take this game. And if they take today's game, you'd almost have to have money on them to take game 3 of the series and take the series 3-1 tomorrow.
Absolutely. Well, the Blue Sox have taken 2 hits off him already, both to right field. Shaping to bunt, pulling out of it. Jacob Eunice for his second appearance. He flew out to right side in his first appearance. But takes that, missing that first one for a ball. Pulls out of it, it was up. 1-0 pitch now from Cole Menter to Eunice, who takes a big swing at the next one. Off the pitch though. 1 ball, 1 strike for Eunice. Bottom of the 3rd inning here from Blue Sox Stadium. Leaves the next one inside.
Yeah, nice pitch from Cole Mender. He went outside with the last one, came inside with that one, painted the corners. Got a couple of strikes, gets ahead now. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Eunice.
He gets that one through though. Rips that one to left field side, Jacob Eunice. No mucking around. It was in the wheelhouse and he took care of it. Out there doing his business, Jacob Eunice gets a single hard left side to Won Suk Kim. Auckland defender, so a single to 7. Eunice at first. He gets things going for the Blue Sox, bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, batting 261 on the season, Jacob Eunice, and been promoted to that lead-off spot because he's batting 261 on the season with an on-base percentage of just north of 350. And again comes up for the Blue Sox with a 1-out single, gets himself aboard. He's always a threat to steal a base, Jacob Eunice, or to be put into a hit and run sort of situation, especially with Alex Howe batting as well as he is now.
Drives one down the outside, does Cole Menter there. Howe not interested in it, left it alone for a strike. Howe not liking that pitch, he'll wait for his one, and it will come. 0-1 now.
Homs are playing in just in case of a bunt.
Missing low that time, Cole Menter. Alex Howe tracking it all the way across the plate into the catcher's glove.
can't imagine Alex Howe bunting in this situation. I would much percentage-wise would say that you would get a hit and run.
Again, showing good judgment, Alex Howe. That one missing. Probably out towards the edge, but a little bit low again. Runner goes, pops it up the left field side. It will go to Kim and the left side, and hustling back to first base. Jacob Eunice gets back easily, sliding down in the dirt, but he was almost at second base when Kim took that catch. Alex Howe out.
He was on second base. He had to turn around from second base and go back. They put a hit and run on.
He needed that to stop him.
I was going to say, well, he used it to help stop and go back because the hit and run was put on. And Alex Howe, as you were saying, was about a yard or two from second base, and it looked like it might have been a bit of a bleeder. It might have just dropped into the hole. And once he realised that Wonsuk Kim was going to get there, as you said, had to put the brakes on, and Eunice had to turn around and get back in a hurry. And as I said, Alex Howe just looked like he was going to bleed it into left field, but couldn't get that done. Eunice, as you said, scampering back to first base, had to dive in there to get in safely, but he is safely back aboard first base, and now Andy Burns, after a double in the first innings, steps to the plate.
And I was sure it was going to be a bleeder and just drop in front of Kim, but he had a good set of wheels. So Howe goes down for the second out. The Blue Sox in the bottom of the third inning. Andy Burns at the plate with just one strike on him at the moment. Cole Menter asking his catcher Bo Bishop to run those signs again for him. Paints the outside edge. Fastball. Bottom outside corner.
Yeah, and again, you just see Andy Burns turn around and say, caught the outside edge.
Yep. I don't think he could get any closer to the corner of the strike zone.
Just nodded his head and said, okay, I'll take that to right field if I have to now.
They learn from that. Pop up. Going back on it, second base, Josh Morgan. Morgan chasing it down. He gets it just inside the foul line. Andy Burns out on a fly ball to position 4. Way over near the foul line behind first base, but he does become the third out for the Blue Sox here in the bottom of the third innings. Blue Sox don't put any dent on the scoreboard as yet. They leave Jacob Eunice stranded. So after 3 completed innings from Blue Sox Stadium, no score on the board between Auckland and your Sydney Blue Sox.
In 1928, Petrus Cornelis Nicholas Middendorp founded his business, Middendorp Electric Goods Supply Company, selling imported light globes, vacuum cleaners and other electrical products. Business began booming, so Petrus and his sons opened the first Middendorp branch in a converted church on La Trobe Street in Melbourne in 1956. This was the first of many branches that would eventually spread across the country, trading as Middies in its signature pink colour.
Back at Blue Sox Stadium, still 0-0. What is developing into what is going to be an arm wrestle of a game. You can see Gaia throwing sensationally well for the Blue Sox. Cole Menter likewise for the Tuatara. It is going to be one of those pitching battles. It's going to be a case of who blinks first this evening.
Yeah, top game in front of us here, and good to see the volunteer ground crew out there already tidying up that Dollarite. They know this is a vital game for both clubs, and they're making sure they've got good conditions to play under. Nice work, you guys.
Now just a shout out to Nathan Brummer, who was asking, is there going to be any other bobbleheads this season, or is it just Gift and Jack? No, Nathan, as far as we know, it will only be Gift and Jack this season, and hopefully they'll expand on that in coming seasons, seeing how well the sales of those 2 bobbleheads have gone.
So they will go. We've got a question about the military caps, Cam. The
camo caps.
Camo caps for the Blue Sox. Where are the camo caps?
They are in Shirley's merchandise shop.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the players' ones didn't get here, so they won't be able to be. They're not able to be used tonight.
Caps in the shop look good.
Caps in the shops are fantastic. There was also talk that the Blue Sox were going to try camo pants, but that didn't eventuate.
You wouldn't see their legs. Guy missing fastball there, outside the zone. I just don't understand camouflage when people say, did you see it? Well, you're not supposed to. Guy comes to the strike zone now. Squares the count up, 1 ball and 1 strike. That's a grandpa joke, I know. Johnny Holmes are at the plate leading off for Auckland. Thanks for those contacting us, getting involved in the broadcast. Including the redhead from Brisbane who just said hi.
She's tuned in apparently hoping for a Boss Mo in a row, a bomb, which is on the cards but going to be difficult tonight the way the wind is blowing.
I have no further comment to make. As Holmes has the count squared at 2 and 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes from Josh Geyer. Fouls the fastball off out of the outside edge. Two still the count on Homza from Geyer. And he gets him swinging. Down goes on strikes. Does Johnny Homza with a big swinging K2. And Geyer starts the top of the 4th innings with the lead off out on that strikeout. That brings to the plate Josh Morgan now.
Yeah, nice pitch that from Geyer. Went upstairs with the hard fastball, challenged him to come up the ladder and get after it. And Homza couldn't get up that ladder and get the barrel of the bat around onto it. So he goes down on strikes. A walk and a strike for Johnny Homza. That'll bring Josh Morgan to the plate. Morgan was superb on Friday night, going 4 from 4 on Friday night. Came back to earth a little bit last night, going 0 from 4. But back on the hit wagon.
Rips one between the 5 and 6 hole out to left field side for Alex Howe to field on the ground. So Josh Morgan gets himself on base with that single to 7.
So he was 4 for 8 for the series. Now with 2 at-bats tonight, he's 5 from 9.
Lifts it just a little.
Might make it 5 from 10, in fact.
500. That's 1 on, but 1 out here in the top of the 4th innings. Jared Walker will come to the plate for Auckland. Josh Geyer ready to receive him. Steps in now. Guy gets his signs off Murphy. Gets him to foul one off on the outside edge. Into the Auckland dugout.
Dugout, yep.
Bishop's got the dreadies going.
Oh yeah,
as
we were
usual.
talking about that last night, the amount of work that goes into getting those dreadlocks ready. And that was a close fought battle between Murphy and Bishop for hair of the series.
Fan favourites votes. Walker in again. I'll play up the first base line from Murphy. Everybody wide awake here from the Blue Sox. Big eyes on tonight. That ball got in the dirt, so Guy gets rid of it. We've been asked if we want any more grandpa jokes, and I'd say thank you very much for offering, but we decline gracefully. Fastball, bottom half of the zone on Walker from Geyer. Nice fastball. He really zipped that one up.
Yeah, Gator asking if you can get merchandise shipped to the States. Absolutely, we can do that, Gator. Just jump onto bluesox.com.au. Or just go into the ABL page and go through to the team that you're looking for, whether it be the Blue Sox or the Tuatara. And they will have their shop links there. And the way the American dollar is at the moment, you'll get yourself some fantastic deals.
Probably be a bargain.
Cheap as chips. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Jared Walker, runner at first base, Josh Morgan.
Takes a long way around to get back into the batter's box, doesn't he?
Oh,
does a full circle.
Go for a stroll, you may as well. Take your time.
No, not after last night. Nearly a 4.5 hour game for 9 innings.
Yeah, but what do we have? 40-minute delay with the sprinklers?
10.
Close to that. It was only 10 minutes.
Officially 10 minutes.
Oh, there you go. It seemed longer than 10.
And I didn't do it. 2-2 pitch. Walker leaves the bat on his shoulder for that one. Takes the count to full now. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Walker from Josh Geyer. 1 out, 1 on, top of the 4th inning. Early start tonight, of course, 6:30 Eastern Daylight Savings Time on the east coast of Australia. Walker.
Hit and run.
Andy Burns fields that. Great fielding from Andy Burns, the second baseman. Gets the out to Boss Maonaroa. 4-3 ground ball. And great coverage there from Andy Burns. He was across a little bit anyway, but he still had to make a diving attempt to cut that one off. Got it into the glove safely and then managed to get the out as well. He looked still cool for the actions that he had to take. He had control of that situation the whole time.
Well, he had to show his range. He had to get deep into the 3-4 hole to get across to the ball in the first place. He had to slide at it to make sure he got it and then just bounced to his feet, balanced himself nicely, which is key before making that throw. Made the good throw to Maonaroa, which that play there pretty much explains why the Toronto Blue Jays wanted to invite him back to spring training.
Yep. They see potential in Burns.
Having signed him as another contract. They do have a very solid infield, the Blue Jays, but having a player like Burns to be able to slot into a few games here and there to give some of those guys a break in a long 160-plus game season over there in the States. He'd be a wonderful prospect to be able to put down in your AAA organisation and then just move up and down as you see fit.
Won-Suk Kim at the plate now for Auckland. There are 2 out. Of course, Josh Morgan advanced to second on that play. Two out with Guy coming low and outside. Well picked up by Jack Murphy behind the plate.
And just for Benjamin, in regards to speed of pitches, unfortunately, the venue here, Blacktown Venue Management, that managed the ballpark, when they put in all the home plate seating, which never was here originally, it affected the speed guns, and so at the moment we don't have a public speed gun. Here's something we'd like to work towards going forward.
Big swing from Kim there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Josh Geyer in charge on the mound for the Sydney Blue Sox. High, pop up, fly ball, centre field, underneath it. Campbell makes easy work of that catch. Michael Campbell backing up on that one, tracking it all the way. In backup was Alex Howe, just in case. But that is the 3rd out on the Auckland Tuatara. And that is Won-Suk Kim out on that fly ball to centre field. No run scored. They leave Josh Morgan stranded halfway through the 4th innings. No score on the board here from Blue Sox Stadium.
And don't forget, if you would like to be part of the broadcast, you'd like to say hello, maybe get a shout out, we can do that for you. The SMS is 0412 203 068. That's if you're in Australia. If you're in New Zealand, of course, it is +61 412 203 068. You can send us a tweet at Blue Sox TV, or you can put a comment on the YouTube chat page. Round the ground scores, as we said, game 1 in the double header between the Perth Heat and the Adelaide Giants was a walk-off to the Giants, 2 runs to 1. The Bandits won game 1 of their double header with the Cavalry by 8 runs to 1. And Melbourne and Korea in their double header. The first game went to the Aces 12 runs to 2. They have just started their second game. They are 3-1 to Geelong in the first innings of the second game. And the Bandits take an early 2-0 lead over the Cavalry in the second game of their doubleheader.
Yep, so all those games in the balance, and that, of course, affects the South-Western Division only with those games. Then the ones between Brisbane, of course, the North-East Division. It's all vital, all 4 clubs playing each other in this last 3 rounds of competition to see who gets to the divisional series.
And the ladders will change in these last couple of weeks, that they will change dramatically. So keep an eye on it. abl.com.au under scores and schedules and standings. All of the action on abl.com.au.
Looks like Perth and Adelaide may have just started their first innings over there in game 2 as well, Cam, in Adelaide. Half an hour behind Sydney, of course.
Like Brisbane, some would say years, no? Just half an hour?
Just half an hour. Boss Monroe leads off bottom of 4 for the Blue Sox. No changes. Monroe taking a big swing out of that pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike on the boss man. Monroe drives one hard down the first base line, but right behind it is first baseman Jared Walker. Gets the put out at position 3 first base. Monroe can't beat that one out. It was just a bit too tight for him, and Walker was down that line anyway. So Monroe becomes the first out here in the bottom of the 4th, put out by the first baseman. For the Blue Sox, right fielder Michael Krause steps in for his second appearance at the plate, facing Josh Colmenter. Fouls the first one off over the back of the grandstand roof. So Krause readies himself again for this next pitch, and missing outside the Auckland pitcher. Leaving that one high this time, working around the edges of the zone, outside, then up high from Colmenter. Krause right in tune with it all though. 2 balls and 1 strike after fouling the first pitch off. Gets one called on the inside. Not Krause's pitch, not in there. It would have handcuffed him completely, so he chose to leave it alone. The 2-2 pitch now for Krause. Works the inside again, trying to jam him up. Not to be, as the count goes to full. Josh Colmenter pitching to Michael Krause for the Sox. Some more messages coming in. We'll give those shout-outs very soon. And that was a foul. Just off the handle of the bat, I believe. Count remains full. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Krause. Full count pitch now. And Krause lifts it to centre, left field. Brilliant hit there. Splits 5 and 6. Neither could get to it. Fielded by Kim in left field. But Krause gets on base for the Blue Sox here with a single to left field, position 7. And stands up there safely. All he did there was make contact with the ball. It jumped off the bat straight through the gap.
I actually did notice he shortened up a little bit on the bat with 2 strikes on him. So he went into defence mode, just squared the bat up, got the barrel on the ball, which is all you want to do, and then drilled it into left field for the hit. Massive shout out to the guys from the Leven Hustle Club in New Zealand cheering on the Tuatara. So g'day over there. What is it, 9:30 on a Saturday evening over there? I've worked the time difference out, Harrow. It's 2 hours, apparently.
Good boy.
9:30 on a Saturday night. Guys, hope you're enjoying the view. Hope you're having a bit of a barbie, or you've had a bit of a barbie, and now you sit around enjoying the boast. Don't do sheep jokes. We don't do sheep jokes.
That wasn't a sheep. That was me.
But I hope you guys are really enjoying the coverage and enjoying the season that the Tuatara are putting together. The Tuatara are having one of those seasons. And I know for you guys across there in New Zealand, you're hoping that it continue. I've got a feeling you guys will be playing some postseason baseball. We'll just see how it all works out.
It's a matter of who goes with you.
Correct.
Hopefully the Blue Sox. Runner goes. Couldn't get a grip on the ball. Bishop at catcher. And Krause stands safely at second. He did slide in, expecting the ball to be there, but it did not appear. So Krause and the Sydney Blue Sox, a runner in scoring position with one out, bottom of the fourth inning. Trent D'Antonio at the plate, the designated hitter. Let's see if he can put something through the infield. Contact hitting would be perfect.
This is where the Blue Sox need to get a little bit of productivity out of the bottom of their lineup. I'll get back to that after this pitch from Colmenter, which misses for a ball. So far in this series, the bottom four hitters for the Blue Sox, whoever they may be, and pretty much they are D'Antonio, Sandy Esteban, Murphy and Campbell generally, they've gone 4 for 30 in the series.
Oh.
So if the Blue Sox can get a little bit of productivity out of hitters 6, 7, 8 and 9, it'll go a long way to winning not only this game but the series.
Well, let's see what D'Antonio can offer up here at the plate. Called strike on that one.
Good crowd in here for a Saturday night at the ballpark as usual.
Good crowd. Above the Auckland dugout up in the back of that grandstand. Good there right across the board. You can see...
Yeah, both sides in the uncovered part of the grandstand.
Behind home plate on screen.
Plenty of families down on the hill. Taking advantage of the picnic seating down there, the picnic benches.
3-1 pitch now for Trent D'Antonio behind the plate. Leaves that D'Antonio.
Must have been 2.
Couldn't have been 3-1.
No. We had it at 2-2 on our scoreboard.
Okay.
So we think that fills it at
In-ground.
3-2. It does fill it at 3-2. Riley Barrington making that blatantly clear for everyone watching his hands that it was 3 balls and 2 strikes.
It's up there now. I'm looking at the in-ground scoreboard, which is a little behind. 3-2, full count.
They just gave D'Antonio a ball instead of a strike.
There we go. Fouls the next pitch off. Good defence from D'Antonio. Opportunity knocks for the Sydney Blue Sox. Krause at second base.
Just about to say, runner in scoring position. They haven't been great with runners in scoring positions this season, the Blue Sox. Another area that if they need to pick up if they're going to charge towards the head of this division and to the playoffs in a couple of weeks' time.
It'd be nice to have runners on the corners. Be nicer to take the go-ahead run. Full count pitch coming. Pick off attempt.
Beautiful move. Beautiful move from Colmenter and Hernandez working together. Krause only just got his hand back. He was tagged on the forearm, but the hand was on the bag at the time. So a really nice move from Colmenter and Hernandez, but Krause awake.
Hernandez hiding on the infield behind Krause at the moment. Umpire right in line. 3 people right in line with home plate. Nobody can see anything. Except the umpire, of course. He's in front.
He sees everything. The umpires see everything, Harrow. You know that.
Good plate defence there from D'Antonio. Last one in that line was Hernandez behind Krause. Behind umpire Bob Crawford.
That's why they
all
do that
having a chat with each other.
They see all.
The all seeing, all hearing. Men in black. Full count pitch for D'Antonio again now. Bottom of the fourth inning. 1 on, 1 out. Gets one down on the ground. Goes to shortstop Hernandez. They will get the out at first base. Well, that was a stretch for Walker at first on that throw from Hernandez. But he does move Michael Krause around into third base position. D'Antonio becomes the second out with a ground ball to 6. 6-3. 2 out, runner at third, brings to the plate Randy Santiesteban.
Hitting the ball, D'Antonio, but he just can't find a gap at the moment. It'll come.
Yeah, it will come. It's really odd though because he just doesn't get that breakthrough. But he's still hitting the ball hard, to his credit. Santiesteban steps in now. Leaves that one outside, missing from Colmenter. There's a long look at the runner at third. Misses down low. and away. Crowd still coming in the front gate. So it's still building as we are in the bottom of the fourth inning. There's still a few people arriving. Obviously been out for the day as Esteban takes a swing at that one. Coleman are able to move that outside and away. Blue Sox with good momentum. The outside edge, just painting the black there as they call it.
Sandy Esteban got his first ABL hit last night.
And got to keep the ball.
Yes, they got the ball out of there to present to him.
It was retrieved immediately. Now the 2-2 pitch. Tries to jam him up inside again. Coleman has got a definite pattern working outside low. Comes up inside in the later count. Just trying to handcuff the batters at the back end of the pitch count. It's full count now though, 3-2. The battle between Santi Esteban and Colmenta. Does the Blue Sock win this? Crowd activated behind the Blue Sock shortstop. Oh, he rings him up on an inside pitch. Santi Esteban didn't get it, didn't like it. No good disputing it. It's been called. Away you go. Third out now on a looking strike. The KC called by plate umpire Riley Barrington. Santi Esteban retreats to the dugout and the Blue Sox will take to the field now. After 4 completed innings from Blue Sox Stadium, the scoreline remains 0-0 between Tuatara and the Blue Sox.
Brett International Sports is a manufacturer, distributor and supplier of some of the finest baseball equipment, endorsed by the Brett family and led by Major League Baseball's Hall of Famer George Brett. Founded in 1999, Brett International Sports is more than just a family business. It's a company dedicated to providing baseball and softball enthusiasts of all ages and skill levels easy access to premium baseball and softball equipment at affordable prices. The Brett family's many years of professional baseball experience, coupled with a world-class product development team, ensures that every Brett product developed and sold around the globe is carefully crafted by the best field experts possible and held to the highest possible level of quality and consistency. So jump online and check out the massive range for Brett International Sports at brett-sports.com. Brett International Sports are proud sponsors and the official suppliers of the Australian Baseball League. Here at Blue Sox Stadium, we are heading into the top of the 5th inning. Andrew Mark, Josh McAdams, Bo Bishop, they are due up for the Tuatara. At the moment, as we said, engaged in a pretty decent pitching duel. The Tuatara only getting the 1 hit off Josh Geyer at the moment. The Blue Sox with 4 hits of their own, but still no score on the board, 0-0. We are here going into the 5th inning. It is a big game in terms of not only this series again, but as we said, the division. The Tuatara were 4 games clear on top. That lead is evaporating. They lost last night. The Bandits continue to win. The Bandits continue to close the gap. The Blue Sox are 4 games back from the Tuatara. And the Blue Sox currently on the bottom of that northeast ladder, but after the couple of wins from the Bandits and Blue Sox win last night, they will now, I believe, be level with the Canberra Cavalry. If they can win tonight, they will jump the Cavalry, go into 3rd spot and be hot on the heels of the Bandits. So Andrew Mark, who walked his first at-bat, swings through a pitch to take the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes now. This one popped up into foul territory, first base side out of play. The crowd watching, crowd gathering around, and a souvenir ball up there. A young gentleman taking a nice catch. We say you come out to the games, you get a souvenir ball, bring it down afterwards. The players do a great job of hanging around. 2-2 pitch, just misses outside. The players hang around for about half an hour, 45 minutes after the game. More than happy to sign any of your merchandise. Full count pitch. Swung on and missed by Mark. He goes down on strikes. Nice, tight, fast ball from Josh Geyer. Gets the first out here in the top of the fifth.
Nicely done, Josh Geyer. The putting out, number 12, the right fielder, Josh McAdams.
That will bring to the plate Josh McAdams. One for 5 for the series going into tonight. Struck out in his first at bat. Fouls off the first pitch from Geyer. Settles in now and hits this one, flaring into shallow centre right. Michael Krause will come on and take the catch in centre right. That will retire McAdams for the second out here, top of the fifth inning. Josh Geyer and the Blue Sox still wheeling and dealing at the moment, but they are facing a formidable foe in Josh Colmenter and the Auckland Tuatara. Who's going to blink first in this one? Bo Bishop to the plate. Takes the first pitch for a called strike. This guy delivers low and outside on that second pitch. Oh, close pitch again. Just missing outside. 2 balls and 1 strike on Bishop, who did walk, but was grounded into a double play. This one is a flare to right field. Krause took a step backwards, but he's got track on it now. Takes it comfortably for the third out. So the Tuatara retired in order here in the top of the fifth. And we have got a quality pitching duel going on here at the moment. 2 of the ABL guns going head to head at the moment, Colmenter and Geyer. We are through 4.5 completed innings, and it is 0-0, the Blue Sox and the Tuatara.
Bartercard is the operator of the world's largest trade exchange, where small and medium-sized businesses barter trade in 8 countries across a dynamic mix of industries. Bartercard has revolutionised the way its members do business, from attracting new customers to conserving cash and increasing their profits. Bartercard's world-leading system enables members to enhance their businesses through a cashless marketplace. For more information, go to bartercard.com.au and check out all of those wonderful options. Bartercard are proud sponsors of the Sydney Blue Sox. That's bartercard.com.au.
Yeah, we love having them on board and having the Bartercard baseball buddies that head out onto the diamond with all the players. And then, of course, they get their junior coaching clinics with the players.
Absolutely.
Cam, I can run the bases at the end.
Sorry, mate. I can recommend looking out the back window. I've just had a quick look. There are lots of people out there at the concession stands getting food, getting their dinner, getting some hot drinks and cold drinks. Kids line getting the ice creams. The ice cream wagon is enormous, and there are people everywhere in this place. The empty seats that we can see are actually there for the people that are down getting food and drink at the moment. There are lines, and the people at the concession stands working absolutely flat out to keep them all satisfied with their refreshments, and it's really good to see. And this would be one of the better crowds I think we've had this year, with a number of people out there. The garden down the third base side, the beer garden as we call it, that's busy as well. Nice crew in tonight as far as supporters go for the Sydney Blue Sox.
So to the bottom of the fifth we head. Captain Jack. Not Sparrow, but Murphy.
Arr.
Steps in. And just to answer Grant Dingwall, who asked how many Blue Sox players actually have major league affiliations. There's not that many with actual major league affiliations anymore. Andy Burns just re-signed with the Toronto Blue Jays. I know Gift was still, but that will be dependent, of course, on that wrist injury.
Yep.
He's still affiliated. I will go through the list a little bit later on, Grant, and get out the absolute numbers for you. Most of them playing sort of independent ball, that sort of thing at the moment. Players like Jack Murphy was a long time affiliated with the Dodgers organisation, stuff like that, but has been released.
Yeah, the other interesting one is the points allocated to clubs for the affiliated players, not affiliated players that they put on their roster. And that import scoring system, if you like, or ranking system, that determines the amount of participation the imports can have as well. Nice catch in the left side grandstand. Let me tell you, no worries about it. 2 hands, no glove. Stood up, took the catch and got a great round of applause. There's a souvenir.
Murphy takes another close pitch. Coleman again just asking how far it missed. That fills the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Murphy having fouled a few off to stay alive. Blue Sox would love a lead-off aboard here. A lead-off walk or a lead-off base hit for Jack Murphy. 3-2 pitch for Coleman. Swung on. It's flared into left field. It's going to get out to Kim though. And Kiwi Kim will come on and take the catch out there in left field. Playing very shallow in left field was Kim. I was surprised how shallow he was because it was just a little flare off the bat of Jack Murphy. And I looked up, Kim was about 3 yards away from where it was going to land. Yeah. So obviously knew something and was in perfect position.
The managers down in the dugout obviously positioned him there because no left fielder usually stands in a position so shallow.
Well, Murphy has good power from that left side of the plate, so you do have to respect that. But as we said, wind is blowing hard and blowing almost directly in from centre field tonight. The southerly breeze has come, as it was predicted to hit late last night, around about midnight. It has rolled in, and we have had grey overcast sky. Here's another little flare into left field. Beautiful. This one is going to be fair. It's going to be extra bases for Campbell. He rounds 2. He has a thought about it, puts on the brakes. He will head back to second base. But Michael Campbell in with a stand-up double. It just got over the head of Johnny Homser at third base and had a long chase for Kim, who, as we said, was playing shallow in left field. He had to chase it back to the corner, and Campbell with a stand-up double.
And all credit to Michael Campbell. He simply put the bat behind that ball where it was in the zone. He met the pitch where it was, didn't try to do anything too fancy, just make good solid contact with it, and then got the wheels rolling around to second base. And it took a little while for Kim to dig that out of the corner. It was a really awkward one as it rolled right up against the foul line, right in the deep left field corner. Great work, great start for the Blue Sox here in the bottom of 5. Runner in scoring position, back to the top of the order through Jacob Eunice.
And that's what we were talking about, getting a little bit of production out of that bottom. Eunice hits one to centre field. It's trying to get down, but not quickly enough. Max Brown will come forward and he will take the catch in centre field. Almost a line drive there from Eunice straight at Max Brown. And the second out recorded for the Blue Sox here in the bottom of the 5th.
Oh, well, still with a runner in scoring position. That ain't over yet as Alex Howe strides to the plate. Oh, what a good game. What a good competitive game. Blue Sox really rolling along nicely. I feel that's where the break's going to come, Cam. It will be the Blue Sox breaking through first, I'm sure. Can feel it in my water.
Well, they are leading the hits 5-1. They've just got to maybe put back-to-back hits together. Like one more base hit here from Alex Howe, for example, will score Michael Campbell. He runs well. They will be wheeling him around the corner with 2 out. He goes on the crack of the bat. So if Alex Howe can find a way just to squeeze one through the infield like he did in his first at-bat this evening, perhaps the Blue Sox can take the lead. Colmenta has a good look at second base before coming to the plate, missing low. Now falls behind Alex Howe 2-0.
Canberra-Brisbane progress score in their second game of the doubleheader. Canberra 3, Brisbane 2. They're in the bottom of the fourth inning though. Brisbane at the plate. Tough game up there for those two. We mainly worry about the Blue Sox down here though.
2-0 pitch from Colmeta, swung on, fouled off by Howe.
In the other game between Melbourne and Geelong, it is Geelong leading Melbourne by 6 runs to 2 after 3 innings. Geelong leading that one.
Apparently a slight rain delay up in Brisbane. We thank Tate for that, just saying that they've gone into a slight rain delay. Two-one pitch from Colmeta to Howe, misses outside, and the count is 3-1. Now this is a pitch for Alex Howe. The 3-1, a nice hitter's count. You can sit on sort of fastball or whichever pitch you believe Colmeta will throw the majority off. His go-to pitch. Try and drive it into a hole. Alex Howe's hole is the 3-4 hole. He likes to go to right field, but has the capability to go anywhere.
Yeah, good work, Alex Howe.
Step out, Colmeta taking plenty of time.
Deliberately.
So Howe is going to step out and take as much time as he needs.
Nice work. Take charge. Young man, take charge. And that he has.
So Howe ready for the 3-1 pitch, lines it up the middle, that's a base hit. Campbell rounds third, being waved to the plate. Max Brown will not throw to the plate, he will throw to the cutoff, and the Sydney Blue Sox lead it 1-0.
Oh yeah, go you Blue Sox. Nice batting again. Alex Howe comes to the fore. We said he would take charge, and that's exactly what Alex Howe did. He ripped that one right up the middle.
And again, that comes from Josh Colmeta falling behind him in the count, getting behind 3-1 and allowing Alex Howe to sit on that fastball from Colmeta. He got fastball from Colmeta and he ripped it straight back up the middle of the diamond for a RBI's 2-out single, which will give the Blue Sox the lead.
Exactly what the Blue Sox wanted. There's the breakthrough. I suggested that might happen a little earlier. Andy Burns steps in now.
Doesn't get any easier for Colmeta now to face Burns. Breaking pitch misses up. No, it doesn't miss at all. Called strike. Sorry, just took Riley Barrington a little while to turn and fire the strike signal.
Certainly did, Cam.
Burns fouls this one off towards, is that Brian Murphy down there tonight?
It is Brian Murphy, the big Murph.
So he's usually in the third base coach's box.
He's struggling. Couldn't pick that one up now. He couldn't throw it over the back net into the crowd. He's fine.
Brian Murphy in the third base coach's box. Brendan Kingman, one of very few people to have 100 home runs in the ABL.
And we were there.
Came back for a season in the new. Of course, most of those 99 of them were in the old ABL.
I believe that took place in Canberra, Cam.
It did take place at Fort Narrabundah.
Deep left field fence.
Disappeared into the car park, into the night.
And a pleasure to watch.
A home run 100. Over a couple of decades for Brendan. Andy Burns behind 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Josh Colmeta. Fastball, Burns fouls it off up into the netting. Down into what we call our dugout boxes here at Blue Sox Stadium. Some nice armchair type rattan outdoor lounge suites that you can sit on either side of the seats that you see directly behind home plate.
They are comfortable. I had my lunch down there.
Perfect if you're bringing a group of people out to the baseball. Group of 4 or 6, you can get one of those dugout boxes and relax in the lap of luxury. Another 1-2 pitch from Colmeta, another foul ball straight back to the net from Andy Burns. He's close, he just can't quite get the barrel in line with the middle of the ball at the moment, but he's not far away.
Runner at first is Alex Howe.
Just to answer to Robster asking whether the loss of the couple of pitches for the Tuatara will put a massive dent in their chances. No, not really. They've got the man out in the middle. He will be their go-to gun. I think the biggest loss for the Tuatara will be Buono going home, or being shut down at least. He was fantastic for them in the late innings, going into innings 8 and 9, closing games out, shutting down oppositions. I think he may be the biggest loss, and if definitely Josh Morgan, who shuts down after this weekend, will be a massive, massive hole for Auckland to fill. 2-2 pitch on its way, swung on and fouled off. Burns staying alive, taking a lot of pitches out of Colmenta.
Yeah, that's what's required.
Robson would also like to ask, what's our favourite baseball food meal?
Oh, it's got to be the dog, I think. Got to be the hot dog. Sauce and mustard. I don't care if it's got cheese or anything else. Hot dog, sauce and mustard.
Must admit I had a burger at Yankee Stadium that was to die for. Another 2-2 pitch on its way. It's high. The count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
I'll tell you what I did do many years ago at Dodger Stadium. Got the elevator right up to the top floor to the ice cream stand. The queues of people, when you get to the front, they hear your Australian accent and give you double.
There you go. You get it in a helmet? You get a helmet full of ice?
Absolutely.
Of course, you've got to get a helmet full of ice cream.
It's about a foot high, though.
Everyone loves the helmet full of ice cream.
Andy Burns.
And he gets ball 4, so a massive at-bat that for Andy Burns. Fouls off 5 or 6 pitches. Stays alive, and manages to find a walk. And that's going to bring a pitching visit. So Colmenta obviously going deep into his counts. No real action in the Tuatara bullpen at the moment.
Confirmation from Gordon that is nice rain on the Gold Coast. Apparently that's affecting the game in Brisbane as well. Brisbane, of course, a little bit north of the Gold Coast. Not very far, though.
It's about an hour and a half, hour of by car.
Not even. 30-minute drive.
Well, there you go.
Northern Gold Coast. Middle of the Gold Coast, maybe 40 minutes. That's about all. And here's a photo. We can't show you that, but yes, it's wet. Thanks, Gordon.
And here's a picture.
He's still out having refreshments, I believe.
Yeah, I got to agree with Philippa. I think losing Morgan will be the biggest loss for the Tuatara.
Yep, that's the attack.
I think they've got the pitching strength to get around losing a couple of pitches, but losing a quality infielder and a quality bat may hurt more. Bosmo and Aroa now with 2 outs, runners at first and second, goes after an off-speed pitch from Colmenta.
Just wants to wait back a fraction.
He thought fastball. He saw fastball and was launching it to right field. Unfortunately for Boss, it wasn't fastball, it was change-up. And Boss way out in front. Notice he's not using his orange bat. He has a black and orange bat that he has been using a fair bit. He's gone to a new lump of lumber.
Maybe one with a bit more pop.
Well, he hits it hard enough. He doesn't need one with any extra pop in it.
He wants to make sure of it.
He can hit the ball an awful, awful long way, Boss. When he
Double barrel
when
Boss.
He gets onto one. Takes the next pitch. Count now to 2 balls and 1 strike. Runners at first and second. Alex Howe at second. Andy Burns at first. There are 2 out. We're in the bottom of the 5th. The Blue Sox have taken the lead here in the bottom of the 5th and lead it 1-0 over the Tuatara. 2-1 pitch swung on and fouled off, dribbled down the first base line. Brendan Kingman doing a good job getting across there to his left, ranging to his left. Too hard to reel in that foul ball.
Alex Howe, the runner at second. Andy Burns at first base. The boss man steps back in again now.
Also asking what is the best piece of memorabilia that we own. Baseball memorabilia.
That's tough.
Yeah, I've got a little bit. Not a massive collector of it, but I do have a few pieces. And one that I quite like. I have a Pete Rose signed baseball.
Oh.
With his record number of hits.
Beautiful. I've got an autographed Australian jersey.
I, of course, am a Cincinnati Reds fan, so I'm happy with a Pete Rose signed baseball. I've also got a Johnny Bench and Joe Morgan signed baseball, so I've got a few of that big red machine. Moanaroa launches one, but it's more up than out. It's a high fly ball to shallow right. Morgan goes out, gets called off it by McAdams, and McAdams will take the catch and end the inning. So Colmander will give up 1 run. Michael Campbell will cross on the RBI single from Alex Howe. The Blue Sox will leave 2 out there, but they will have the lead after 5 completed innings. It is the Blue Sox 1, the Tuatara nothing after 5 completed innings here at Blue Sox Stadium.
Struggling with the rising cost of power? You are not alone. Over 2 million Australian homes have now installed solar. The average size solar system can save you around $500 a quarter, add value to your home and reduce your carbon footprint. SolarAy is Australia's largest independent solar and storage installer, located right here in Blacktown. Talk to the team at SolarAy to find out if solar is right for you. Visit solaray.com.au/Blue Sox today. SolarAy Energy, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
So we are heading to the top of the 6th inning. The Tuatara doing a good job of getting away that bottom of the 5th, only giving up the 1 run. The Blue Sox threatened, but they held fast. They do give up the 1 run. And the Blue Sox will have the lead. Josh Geyer back out there for the top of the 6th as expected. No action in either bullpen really happening at the moment. In fact, the catchers and pitchers are only just heading up to the Blue Sox bullpen as we speak. They're only just walking up there now.
So interesting. It's a great game so far, a real arm wrestle. That's what we expected in this game 3. Of course, we will be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. start. I can highly recommend, if you're not at this game, you haven't been to one this series, get out here tomorrow afternoon, Sunday, for a 4 p.m. first pitch. Gates open at 3 p.m.
Apparently, my local club, the Moorebank Royals, will be the Buttercard Baseball Buddies tomorrow. I got asked if I wanted to run out with the players with my Moorebank, and I said, no, thank you.
You're busy.
Yeah.
Feedback on favourite food. Hot dogs at the stadium are great, but Seagull's favourite food at the baseball is chips.
Yeah.
All over them.
Been a few garlic chips and loaded fries, what they call armadillo chips and things like that.
Ooh, garlic chips on a Seagull. Seagull with bad breath.
Max Brown, Yoni Hernandez, Johnny Homza, the due-ups for Auckland here, top of the 6th inning. Max Brown to get things underway. Has taken 2 pitches, both balls from Geyer.
Great pitch there from Geyer. Fastball through the top half of the zone. Gets Brown swinging. Nice work.
Two 1 pitch swung on by Brown, makes it 2-2. Max Brown did strike out his first at-bat this evening. Geyer looking for another one and does get him as he blows the fastball past Max Brown and strikes out the first batter here in the top of the 6th inning. Brown down on strikes. So it's a sit-down Max Brown instead of a downtown Max Brown.
That'll work. It certainly works for Josh Geyer on the hill, who's done a magnificent job. They go back to the top of their order through Yoni Hernandez, the shortstop to Auckland.
Hernandez 0 for 2. Both ground outs. Come back to Geyer to start the game. Grounded into a double play to end the 3rd inning. Shows bunt. Geyer gets it straight through the strike zone. No intentions, of course, of bunting at that stage. Hernandez, being left-handed, you'd expect him to do the running bunt if he was serious about it, to get out of that batting box and get a head start, so to speak.
Does, fouls the next one off.
Gift Nagopo, you can't keep him out of the game. He come bouncing out of the dugout on that foul ball. It was rolled towards the dugout. He ran out of the dugout and fired it at Bosmo and Aroa at first base looking for an out.
He's a character.
Boss caught it and fired it straight back to him. Of course, Gift didn't catch it with his bad wrist. He let it go straight through to the dugout.
Thank God.
That one is just inside.
Close but no cigar.
Just giving Riley Barrington, the home plate umpire, a chance to turn and call it, should it be. But no, 2 balls, 2 strikes is the count on Hernandez. This one hit towards shortstop Sandy Esteban. He will come up, fire it across the diamond for a fairly routine ground ball to the shortstop. Randy Sandy Esteban getting the job done for the second out.
No question about that man's capability. Randy Esteban, a perfect find for the Blue Sox to get in there and take the place of Gift as he's gone down injured. But he's settled into this team. The teammates, he already knows half of them anyway before he came into the Blue Sox roster. And fantastic replacement for Gift.
Again, asked if we believe that there should be an all-star week during the ABL. Unfortunately, the way that the rosters have gone with the expansion of the league and the break up into divisions, it really doesn't give us a Christmas break like we once had. We used to have a week off for Christmas in the middle as this one's lifted foul out over the first base side, and that was the perfect time to be able to assemble everybody at a ground and get an all-star, an international all-star versus an Australian all-star team getting together. I'm okay that we don't have it at the moment, just the way we've expanded. We've now basically got a Korean team, call them an international team. You've got a New Zealand team, call them an international team, and they're playing every week of the ABL.
Absolutely, and it's a good round, and it is a compact season that's very time limited as well.
Yeah, we've got to make sure we have these players ready to be able to head back to America for spring training, for catches and pitches reporting especially. That's the big one. A lot of pitchers and catchers over here are playing in the minor leagues down there, whether it be A-ball or whether rookie league, etc.
And whether they're affiliated or not doesn't really matter. The fact is they've got to be able to go back healthy for their long season, because that's where their real money earner is.
Correct. And their chance to progress up to the levels. There have been plenty of players that have played in the ABL that have progressed to Major League Baseball level.
Guy missing up high with a nice fastball.
The Blue Sox have, of course, their own Reese Hoskins. Came down here at the Phillies organisation. Came down here and played a season with the Blue Sox. Went home, hit the lights out of the ball and was promoted to Major League and homered in his first game for the Phillies in the Major Leagues.
Wonderful. Homser at the plate.
Fouls off over the first base side. The count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 away. Of course, for people that follow, say, the Yankees, for example, their shortstop Didi Gregorius played for the Canberra Cavalry here in the ABL before going back to play AAA ball and getting a call up from the Yankees to come and play for them.
Yeah, and he came out and played at the Sydney Cricket Ground in the MLB Round 1 season opener.
That stage, I believe he was with the Diamondbacks.
He was. Diamondbacks and Dodgers played in that series.
2014, I think. Wow, where has the time gone? Is it 2014? I think it was.
It could only be 13 or 14.
Ouch.
Yes, exactly. Sorry, Cam. But he's carved out a magnificent career for himself, Didi Gregorius.
Another 1-2 pitch from Gaia on its way. Breaking pitch. Just misses outside. Nice pitch. Nice choice of pitch from Josh Gaia. Homs are doing a good job of laying off, letting it pass. Staying alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 gone. Top of the 6th inning. The Blue Sox in front. 1-0. There's the wind-up 2-2 pitch. It's right on the money for strike number 3. Homser knew it. He was off to the dugout. And that'll do us here, top of 6. The Blue Sox sit them down in order again for the 2nd consecutive innings. That's 8 retired in order by Gaia and the Blue Sox. And we're heading to the bottom of the 6th inning with the Blue Sox leading the Tuatara by 1 run to nothing.
All right, guys. Now, you know the rules of the game.
For all your printer and copier needs, speak to the professionals at Mytronics. Mytronics are Australia's largest brand independent office equipment and supplies company. Mytronics are proud to be wholly Australian owned and operated and stock all the best and most famous brands of printers and copiers. Mytronics guarantee to better any Australian quote, so you can be sure you're getting the best value and service when you buy or lease your chosen products from Mytronics. Jump online and check out their massive range of printers and copiers, and of course all of their other support services provided. That's mytronics.com.au. Mytronics, as you can see on screen, .com.au. Mytronics are proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox. And we look up the career of Didi Gregorius.
Like I say, he has just signed with the Phillies. He's gone off as a free agent from the Yankees over to the Phillies.
Correct. And he's had a great career since participating in the ABL. He's been with the Cincinnati Reds, the Diamondbacks, New York Yankees, and now crossed with Philadelphia Phillies. Great shortstop, and hails as a Dutch baseball shortstop. And that was the case with the early days of the ABL, the number of overseas players from international countries. There was really a smattering of players from all around the world. We've still got that sort of content here in the ABL today.
Bottom of the sixth innings ahead of us. Michael Krause, Trent D'Antonio and Randy Santi-Esteban are the due-ups for the Sydney Blue Sox. Josh Colmenta will still do the work for the Tuatara, although some action appears to be starting up in their bullpen. I will park the peepers up there to see what's going on up there. No, just some loosening up, some use of the resistance bands. Michael Krause launches one to left field. Going back is Kim. He looks to have a read on it. He goes to the warning track. He stops at the warning track and makes a nice catch in deep left field. Krause got plenty of it, but came up about 5 or 6 yards short.
That was as deep a hit without going over the fence on the inside edge of that warning track, and that's not an extremely wide warning track either. Still an out though.
Yeah, and again with that wind blowing in, as we said, that it is just the difference between that ball being able to tail around a little bit and maybe finding the wall or finding the other side of the wall and it pulling up on the warning track. D'Antonio shows bunts it foul. Not happy with himself. He thought he might have had Homser on the back foot at third base and might have been able to running bunt himself a single.
I think Krause might have thought he had that as well when he made good contact with it. It was nice sound off the bat.
I was going to say, I turned and watched Kim immediately. I wasn't watching Michael Krause. He thought he got a bit more of it, did he?
I didn't think Kim had a good line on that to start with. He looked to be stutter stepping out there.
Antonio foul tips this one. It goes into the mask of Bo Bishop, who doesn't even flinch.
Canberra leading Brisbane 3-2 in the top of the fourth with a slight rain delay. Geelong Korea leading the Melbourne Aces by 10 runs to 2 through 4 innings.
D'Antonio swings and misses. He's not even going to bother trying to run that out. He's going to break his bat and head back to the dugout. That Geelong Korea team, Harrow, they are probably the hottest and coldest team in the ABL. When they're hot, I don't care who you are, you're not getting anywhere near them. They are going to destroy you. And when they're cold, unfortunately, they can be absolutely ice cold.
When they go off the boil, they're way off the boil.
But they are a team that on their night will destroy anybody in the league at any given time. As this one's ripped into left centre field, that could be down for extra bases. Santi-Esteban to the wall. He'll round one. He heads to 2. He'll get into 2 comfortably with a stand-up double. So the young man hailing from Cuba gets his first double here in the ABL. Santi-Esteban stands at second with a 2-out double to deep left centre.
How good is that for the Sydney Blue Sox? 2-out rally coming up right here. Santi-Esteban. He gets it going. He's in that bottom 4 that Cam talked about earlier. Now we'll go to Jack Murphy. If he gets one through the infield, that will be a bonus for the Blue Sox and keep this inning alive. It's up to the bottom end now, Murphy and Campbell, to keep this going. Runner in scoring position with 2 out, bottom of the 6th inning.
Murphy has had some big clutch hits for the Blue Sox this season. They would love another one right here. Colmenter misses.
There's that outside corner on Murphy. Called strike. A 1-1 pitch for Murphy here.
That's on the outside edge again.
Exactly the same location.
Colmenter finding a beautiful spot.
I'm guessing he's going to come back in on Murphy's hands, trying to get the inside edge and jam him up.
This is where you throw breaking ball or fastball, but up and in. Something a bit different. Don't go low to the left-handers, as Josh Guy said. No, he goes well out low and outside. You don't go low and inside. No, as Josh was saying the other night, you don't go low and inside on the left-handers because a lot of left-handers, that is their power.
Yeah.
Their power pull. And so if you're going to go inside, you're better off going up near the belt buckle because it's much harder for them to get around and actually hit it. So 2-2 the count. Runner in scoring position is Randy Esteban. Murphy calls time at the plate. Now digs himself into that left-hander's batter's box. Swung on and fouled off by Murphy. That's going to come down in the beer garden.
Well away, yeah. Well away from the fence. These two using as much psychological advantage as they can. Colmenter in particular.
Blue Sox crowd starting to make some noise. They want to see their hero, Jack Murphy, drive in another run. And time called.
Yeah, I think Murphy calling time because Colmenter is taking a while to get the signs.
Very deliberate, taking plenty of time is Josh Colmenter. Rears back now, fires it to Murphy, a little bleeder into shallow right field. It's not going to get down though. Josh Morgan with good range is going to get across and make the catch in shallow right field. So Morgan will make the catch. Murphy will go down on the fly. And we are done through 6 completed innings here at Blue Sox Stadium. After 6 complete innings, the Blue Sox lead the Tuatara by 1-0 here on BlueSox.tv.
In 1928, Petrus Cornelis Nicholas Middendorp founded his business, Middendorp Electric Goods Supply Company, selling imported light globes, vacuum cleaners and other electrical products. Business began booming, so Petrus and his sons opened the first Middendorp branch in a converted church on La Trobe Street in Melbourne in 1956. This was the first of many branches that would eventually spread across the country, trading as Middies in its signature pink colour.
So 6 innings in the book here at Blue Sox Stadium. It is 1-0. And I think we've got a change on the mount, Hara. Having a look in there. We do have a change on the mound.
25, and for all the good work that Josh Geyer has done, what a great outing for Josh Geyer.
It should be Luke Wilkins, isn't it? I think it is.
Maybe it is 26. Yeah, I read 25. Probably Luke Wilkins.
It looks like Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Luke. And I was going to mention if Josh had have gone back out there, he was currently sitting with 6 strikeouts. And Josh, one of the pitchers that is throwing in $20 per strikeout to the bushfire relief funds.
Yes.
So that's $120 out of Josh's own pocket that will be going in tonight for the bushfire relief funds.
Good job. And a lot of people across Australia doing that, especially all of the sports people, baseballers in the ABL and tennis players alike, everybody contributing, doing what they can to help these communities out that have absolutely been devastated due to these widespread bushfires. Still down in the southeast corner of New South Wales, the northeast corner of Victoria, a raging fire. They're heading up towards Bombala and Coomera area, up towards those snowy mountains, which have no snow at the moment. It's summertime.
I'm going to say they lost Mount Selwyn, which is one of the big ski resorts here in Australia. Unfortunately, it succumbed to those bushfires.
Absolutely devastating.
So, big impact it is having on the whole of the Australian culture. Thanks to Gordon Guy, just let us know that it was 97 pitches for Josh Geyer.
And I bet he counted every one of them.
Was riding every single one of them. I will get you the line on Josh in just one moment.
Morgan steps in for Auckland. Lifts one into deep right field, getting around there. Michael Krause will go to the fence for it and falls over the fence into the bullpen. Wow. Big run from Michael Krause. And I think the ball bounced, did it, Cam?
It bounced in the bullpen.
And,
yep. He couldn't quite get to it.
Just didn't get there. He's a big, tall guy as well.
And reached as far as he could. He was only a foot or two away from actually hauling it in.
Great attempt. Still a long strike, though, for Josh Morgan.
For Josh Geyer tonight, Harrow, 6 innings pitched. Gave up 1 hit. These are on the official stats coming through from the game centre of the ABL. 3 walks and 6 strikeouts tonight.
Good effort. Hello. Time called by the umpire, I think. Riley Barrington's gone out. He wants to check the pitching rubber or something. Well, there's been a request to check it. Manager for the Blue Sox has gone out. Interesting.
Luke Wilkins stands right on
the edge.
As you look at the pitcher himself, it's right on the very right-hand edge of the pitching rubber.
Yeah.
And the pitching rubber itself was covered in a bit of dirt that had been kicked up from various pictures and whatnot. And Riley Barrington just couldn't see the contact being made with the back foot from Wilkins and the pitching rubber, so went out and just explained, I'm going to clean it off.
Fair enough.
So that I can see that you are actually making contact with it.
Fair enough. Good umpiring.
Because you do have to have part of that foot, of course, touching the pitching plate or the pitching rubber, as you like to gets referred to from time to time.
0-2 the count now. 2 strikes only on Josh Morgan. Wilkins facing his first batter here for the game after replacing a great effort from Josh Geyer.
Oh, fantastic start from Josh Geyer. As we said, to go those 6 innings on 97 pitches, only give up the 1 hit is a tremendous effort, especially against a team like the Tuatara, who can hit you out of the attack in the blink of an eye. And this will be the big test coming up now for Wilkins as to whether he can hang in there.
And he gets Morgan swinging. Throws the perfect pitch in there, does Luke Wilkins, and goes down on the tempting strike. Josh Morgan, first out for Auckland Tuatara in this top of the 7th inning. That's an important out. Then we get to Jared Walker. That's a big out on Morgan for Wilkins and the Sydney Blue Sox.
Well, it's a confidence builder that you've now gone to your change of pitcher and nothing much has changed. You've retired the next batter in order, who is probably probably if not the best hitter in the lineup, the second best hitter behind the man you're now facing in Jared Walker. But 9 retired in order by the Blue Sox since the 4th inning.
Yes, an appeal down the line by Jack Murphy for a strike on that one, a swing, and the third base umpire down there, Connor Casey, says yep, he went through, he was intending to hit the ball, in his opinion. So a strike on Jared Walker.
And that's all it is. So don't believe anything you hear about bat heads through strike zones and across plates and anything like that. In the umpire's opinion, was the batter trying to swing at the ball? Yes or no?
Yes, he was in that occasion. Next pitch from Wilkins. Goes outside, tries to drop a slow change up in there. Just took a bit of pace off that one, did Wilkins. The 1-1 pitch now. Oh, just trying to work those edges. Wilkins just missing a little. Not much in it. The crowd buzzing with anticipation and excitement. And he gets Walker swinging as well. That was a big, hard swing at that one from Walker. The 2-2 pitch now. Luke Wilkins on the mound for the Sox. Jared Walker at the plate for Auckland. Good evening, hello to all of our New Zealand viewers and of course all the locals here on the mainland on Australia. All encouraging the Blue Sox to get across this line. The finishing line coming up very quickly over the next 2.5 weeks for the ABL. Sydney trying to gain their way through to the postseason and divisional playoff. Wilkins just misses the inside. He wanted that one. Well thought out pitch though. Fills the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Divisional playoff is between the top 2 teams in each division. Tuatara lead that Northeast Division at the moment. Pops one up, high fly ball, right side. And taking that, Michael Krause looked like he got the ball in his glove, then maybe looked down to make sure it was still stuck in there. Krause, but he certainly got the out. Fly ball, if not a line drive to the right field side. And that puts Jared Walker back in the dugout. 2 up, 2 down. The Auckland Tuatara here in the top of 7.
That playoff system you mentioned is not quite as simple as that. There is a wild card team. The worst place third team gets a wild card in against the worst placed second team. So there is a wild card thrown in there. The worst placed the best placed third team in the league does get a wild card into the playoffs.
Okay, thank you very much.
At the moment, that looks like it will go to the Southwest Division. They look like they're ahead of the Northeast Division in terms of games won and lost across the record. And if the comp was to stop now, it would be the Melbourne Aces that would get the wild card berth. So they would then play, again, if it stops now, they would then play the Brisbane Bandits in the wild card game.
Yep.
Whereas second place in their division, which would be the Perth Heat, would play against the Tuatara. And the first place in that division, which is the Giants, would wait for the winner of the wild card game.
They would go through as Luke Wilkins strikes out Wansuk Kim. Kiwi Kim strolls back to the dugout after being struck out. So the Tuatara from Auckland to go 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 7th inning. Halfway through the 7th, it is the Sydney Blue Sox on top of the Auckland Tuatara by 1 run to 0. And welcome back to Blue Sox Stadium, where we head to the bottom of the 7th innings. Leading off for the Blue Sox will be Michael Campbell, and change in the defensive lineup for Auckland. Change of pitcher, Josh Colmenter leaves the mound to be replaced by Lucas Jacobson, wearing the number 51 shirt out there.
Of course, the next series for the Blue Sox, we're back here on the Australia Day weekend. 23rd, 24th, 25th and 26th of January. And we're taking on the arch rivals from down the highway, what we call the Highway Series. It's as close to a Subway Series as we get here in Australia. It's Sydney versus Canberra, the Cavalry and the Blue Sox in that series.
That's the one. Lucas Jacobson on the mound for Auckland, born in Santa Cruz, USA. But Michael Campbell at the plate. Got a double to left field side in his previous appearance. And is the only run to across the plate in this game tonight, giving the Blue Sox the lead 1-0 over Auckland. Bottom 7. Fastball, bottom of the zone from Jacobson. 1 ball, 1 strike on Campbell.
How do you like this from a minor league team after this pitch, Harrow?
It's a big tall guy. Tells me it's 6'5".
Yeah, was with the Rangers, or is with the Rangers organisation, and was playing with the Crawdads, the Hickory Crawdads.
Right, okay. Big hard swing from Campbell, missing though, as Jacobson gets one by him. Wonder where they're from. Crawdads. Down south somewhere, I would suggest. Maybe one of the Florida leagues.
The Arizona Rangers.
Oh, there you go. Wrong again. It's a little south though. 2-2 pitch, fouled off by Campbell. You may have seen the pre-game dance group out in centre field prior to the game opening. It was a great display, the Blue Sox dancers. 2 whole teams of dancers out there. They're still here at the ground and keeping the crowd entertained. Campbell goes down swinging as he misses that one, and Jacobson throws one by him on the outside, down low corner. So it goes down fighting with a K2. Michael Campbell, 1 out for the Sox, but it does take us back to the top of the order through third baseman Jacob Eunice. He's had 3 appearances tonight and has had a single to left field side as well, Eunice. But the rangy left-hander out there. Let's see if Eunice can look after those fastballs that he delivers.
Just grabbing the line for Josh Colmenter. For those people interested, he threw 115 pitches.
That's a lot.
Josh Colmenter. In 6 innings pitched, gave up the 7 hits. 1 run, of course, earned. 1 walk and 6 strikeouts himself tonight.
It was a good battle between him and Gaia. Gaia coming out in the ascendancy. Oh, lays down a bunt.
Oh, he's
Eunice will hustle up first base easily. Great bunt, the perfect bunt for Eunice. Blue Sox runner on base.
You knew as soon as that landed softly in the grass, nobody was going to throw Eunice out then.
Absolutely, and Jacobson got to it first, turned and looked up. Eunice was already beyond first base. Great work, Jacob Eunice. Good lead-off work, although there was 1 out ahead of him. That gets things started for the Blue Sox here and brings Alex Howe to the plate. Alex Howe has had a night out.
Oh, just baseball just getting loose in shallow right field. It must have bounced out of the bullpen. But action in the Blue Sox bullpen continues. Todd Van Steensel with the pants down, and the Sox not up tonight.
Interesting.
Interesting look for Todd. Todd can be a little bit of a superstitious baseballer, as a lot of baseballers can be, and I know he wasn't happy at all with his last outing. So pull the pants down, take a new look, head out there, and it's a new day.
Hide the socks away, start fresh.
That's it. It's a new day when he strides to the mound today.
Howe fouls another one off. He's had a single to the right field side and a single to centre field tonight so far. High and inside on that one from Jacobson. Howe holding his ground in the batter's box.
David Tate asking what happens if the Canberra-Brisbane game doesn't get restarted. Where were they in that game, Harrow? I know you did have that open in front of you. They were in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Bottom of 4, scores at 3-2.
As a pick-off attempt back comfortably will be Eunice. If they do not get back on, I've got a feeling that will be a game that will be another one of those. We'll give you a half a game each.
Or they might
half a win each. They can't move it. There's no game scheduled for tomorrow. The Canberra are due to travel as far as I'm aware.
Okay. 3-2. They will wait a long time tonight, though, to get it done.
They will take every opportunity to get at least 5 innings completed. I don't believe there are options for tomorrow. As I said, I believe the Cavalry are travelling tomorrow, but that is not written in stone, of course. There might be able to be changes made. That would be dependent on the ABL and the clubs getting together, but it may be a case that if it can't get played, that they then go to giving each of the teams half a win.
That'll make things interesting if that occurs, Cam. Alex Howe remains at the plate with a 2-2 count from the pitching of Lucas Jacobson. The game 2 between Adelaide and Perth is still at 0-0.
And just a word from Glenn Long saying it's still raining at that Brandits game, and I'll give it about another 45 minutes to an hour.
Lifts is high to left field side. Kim plants himself underneath it in left field side and hardly had to move at all. He took about 2 steps to get under that ball, did Won Seok Kim. And that one popped straight up by Alex Howe into a perfect left field position. For the fielder, it's perfect. For the batter, not so much. So 2 out the Sydney Blue Sox. We've got Jacob Eunice, still the runner at first base, though.
Wonder with a 1-0 lead here, do you take the odds to maybe sending Eunice? Because at worst case scenario, that will bring Burns back to the plate to lead off the following innings if he does get picked off. And there he goes, almost on cue. I was thinking that might be the smart play, because he's now at second base safe. And Andy Burns, if he drives in a run or hits a ball into the outfield and gets a base hit, will score Eunice from second base and give you that extra run. That was what was going through my head with Burns walking to the plate. And that's almost a shame Barclay has seen it.
And making Burns the lead off in the next dig if anything
if it
goes awry.
If it went awry and he got struck out, at least you then go Burns, Mo and Aroa, Krause, 3 blokes that can all hit a home run for you if with nothing to lose and still hopefully being in front by 1.
And now a runner in scoring position for the Blue Sox. Andy Burns at the plate. Opportunity knocks once again for the Sox. Missing outside that time, Jacobson. Andy Burns. Will he keep working the outside edges of the zone, Jacobson on Burns?
He's got to be careful now that he's fallen behind him 2-0. This is a good spot for Burns.
That one called.
Wasn't the pitch he wanted. It was up a bit high, so he let it pass.
So the count moves on to 2-1 now. Jacobson taking his time on the hill. Burns waits patiently and steps in ready. showing that he's determined and ready to attack. Steps off and turns towards second. Eunice wide awake.
I was going to say, Josh Morgan really the only person interested for the Tuatara to head across to the bases, and he wasn't that interested, to be honest.
Not really. Yeah. Just a warning shot. Tries one down the third base side. Where will the play go? He goes across the diamond to first. And the out taken. There's good fielding from Johnny Homza across to Jared Walker at first. And that was a hard hit ball from Andy Burns. He really ripped it. But he becomes the third out on the ground ball on the 5-3 play. Innings complete for the Sydney Blue Sox. After 7 complete innings here at Blue Sox Stadium, they leave Jacob Eunice stranded at second base. And he tried to draw the throw, but it didn't work. But it's still the Sydney Blue Sox leading the Auckland Tuatara 1-0.
Struggling with the rising cost of power? You are not alone. Over 2 million Australian homes have now installed solar. The average size solar system can save you around $500 a quarter, add value to your home and reduce your carbon footprint. SolarAy is Australia's largest independent solar and storage installer, located right here in Blacktown. Talk to the team at SolarAy to find out if solar is right for you. Visit solaray.com.au/Blue Sox today. SolarAy Energy, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
And welcome back to the action at Blue Sox Stadium. A change on the mound for the Blue Sox as we head to the top of the 8th inning. And we see the change of pitcher. Todd Van Steensel takes to the mound. As Cam mentioned earlier, with his socks covered with his pants today, he usually has those blue socks way up on display. But the number 21, a little bit of change of attitude right now. Todd Van Steensel up there just going through his warm-up routine.
I can imagine, Harrow, he'll have a few, not angry pitches, but he'll be a little bit upset at himself on his previous outing, and he'll want to have something to prove here tonight to the Blue Sox and to his fans, of which he has an awful lot. Has a massive social media presence, does Todd. Does a lot of good work in and around not only Twitter and the background of charities and work with juniors. And I know he will want to have a big outing tonight, help the Blue Sox try and hang on here and grab the series lead.
Absolutely he will. He'll be looking to rectify what occurred the other night and make amends. He will come out aggressive, but with a lot of thought. Jack Murphy just giving him a few words of advice there as they get ready for the first batter to step in. Top of the 8th inning here from Blue Sox Stadium. Todd Van Steensel will throw his first pitch to Andrew Mark, the designated hitter for Auckland. Infield ready, outfield ready, umpires ready. Murphy just making some adjustments.
Just pushing the outfield a little bit deeper and pushing Andy Burns, I think, a little bit deeper. Burns back on the grass now at second base, as is Sandy Esteban at shortstop. Maybe just moving them back a little bit on Andrew Mark.
Yeah, very clear signals from Jack Murphy behind the plate. Van Steensel with that elbow up as he has a look and gets his sighting down the target line. Leaves one high again for second ball. Ball 2.
Yeah, that's too high and inside from Van Steensel.
Very methodical in his approach, as all pitchers are. He's very deliberate. Better location.
Yeah, much better pitch.
Made the adjustment downwards, and that's where it was the other night. He was leaving the ball up far too often. But this time making adjustment to the bottom half of the zone.
Van Steensel is a pitcher that has good velocity, can throw the mid to high 90s, has had a fastball going 97, 98 miles per hour in the American minors.
Up again on that pitch. 3 balls, 1 strike now. 3-1. Mark readies himself for the hitter's pitch. Let's hope not. Leaves one up again and walks his first batter. That's Andrew Mark, the designated hitter for Auckland. Gets a base.
Tyrell Harris up and throwing for the Blue Sox in their bullpen.
I would be surprised if there wasn't a relief pitcher there ready to go. We know at this back end of the game, Shane Barclay always has a couple of pitchers up his sleeve to make as many changes as he needs to get to the back end of the game and lock it away. So we'll give Van Steensel the next batter, Josh McAdams, but don't be surprised if he doesn't get the right result out of this. Runner goes.
Obviously called foul because Riley Barrington was reaching out to give Jack Murphy another ball, so that wouldn't be the case if it wasn't a foul ball.
Interesting as the runner goes to third base. Riley just indicating you better go back to first because we did call that foul. Just got a little tip on it. Of course, you expect Andrew Mark wouldn't have seen or heard that whatsoever.
He sees the ball bounce away from Murphy, puts his head down, goes, has to look as he hits second base because he's not being told to slide.
Exactly.
So obviously puts his head around, still sees the ball over near the Blue Sox dugout and decides to round and head to third.
And nobody at home plate rushing to do anything much. 0-1 the count now. Van Steensel on McAdams.
Notice he didn't get a lot of help from Randy Santi Esteban at shortstop telling him to pull up either.
Just let him run.
Correct.
Wear him down eventually.
Correct.
Bunts down the first base side. Maonaroa goes to it. Andy Burns at first base gets the out. Nice work, Sydney Blue Sox. Good defence.
Yeah, but the sacrifice from the Tuatara moves the tying run around into scoring position, which is what they had to do. Now they've got two chances, Bo Bishop and Max Brown, to get a game-tying base hit.
So Andrew Mark advances to second base on that play. Josh McAdams out on what became a 3-4 sacrifice. Maonaroa fielding the ball. Andy Burns at second base. Good work, Blue Sox. One out, one in scoring position. Bo Bishop at the plate. Or is it? It's number 30, I think there may be.
Yeah, no, that's Kent Blackstone wearing the 30. I'm pretty sure of that.
It is Kent Blackstone replacing Bo Bishop.
Yep, that's certainly not the dreadlocks of Bo Bishop at the plate. As he fouls one off towards Duck Creek.
It's gone.
So this will cause a little bit of a shuffle.
Yep.
So basically, from what we'll see, we'll check it out when they come in the defence. I imagine Johnny Homser will head back to catch. Josh Morgan will head from second around to third. And Kent Blackstone will head out to second base, but we will confirm that when the Tuatara come out to field.
Tuatara chasing one run. And he gets a swing out of Blackstone. Nice pitch there from Van Steensel. TVS coming inside, jamming him up with a fastball but getting a swing. Van Steensel in front in the count now, 0-2. Gets him swinging at a fastball on the outside edge now.
That was pure plate defence by Kent Blackstone there. He wasn't quite sure where the edge of the plate was, so...
just threw the bat at it, didn't he?
Yeah, get the bat on it. Get a little bit of bat on it. Hopefully it fouls out of play, which it does, and he can reset for a pitch that he will be more likely to be able to try and drive in this tying run.
Still an 0-2 pitch here for Van Steensel over Blackstone. Puts it in the zone for Blackstone to foul off one more.
You see that Van Steensel really reared back and gave that just about everything he had in the back pocket.
He has a good high kick. The defence, everybody set up here. 0-2 pitch again.
Is he confident enough to throw his slider to a left-hander?
Let's hope so. Comebacker through the middle. Sandy Esteban gets the out. Well fielded ball, cuts across. Andy Burns backing him up. But Sandy Esteban calls that, takes it long on the charge behind second base. Gets it across to Moan Aroa and gets a very important out off the batting of Kent Blackstone. 6-3 ground ball out. Brings up the second out on Auckland. Good work, Sydney Blue Sox. The runner, Andrew Mark, advances to third base. And it brings to the plate Max Brown for Auckland.
Yeah, nice play that from Randy Sandy Esteban. Had to range across the diamond. I don't think Andy Burns would have had any play at all. So it was all Sandy Esteban, and he picks it up, makes the play for a big second out. Runner now at third base, though, is Andrew Mark. So still a massive threat for the Tuatara to tie this one up here in the top of 8.
Max Brown fouls the first pitch off, but he's had 2 strikeouts. Max Brown has been the first out in both of his previous appearances in the 3rd inning and the 6th inning. He struck out both times. Let's see if TVS can treat him exactly the same way here in the 8th innings and get him swinging. Sandy Esteban deep at shortstop. Burns deep at second base. They want to cut this off.
They just want another ground ball. The Blue Sox need another ground ball, again, a pop-up fly will do. But the batter in the box, Max Brown, is the one they need to sit down.
Strikeout for Van Steensel would be even better to build his confidence.
Oh, he would love that. He would love to be able to sit this team down with a strikeout here and hand it over to Terrell Harris to close it out.
Well, he's got the ability, no doubt. Two-one pitch from Van Steensel to Brown. Brown, plate defence, fouls another one off. There or thereabouts on the inside edge.
Van Steensel has appeared in 17 games for the Blue Sox this season and thrown 21.1 innings in those games. Given up 15 earned runs. Has a 2-1 win-loss record.
Okay.
ERA at 6.3.
I'm sure he can deliver here. 2-2 pitch now. And he gets him swinging. Well done, Todd Van Steensel and the Sydney Blue Sox. He gets Max Brown swinging on strikes. That's the 3rd out. It shuts down any attack that the Auckland Tuatara had here. They leave Andrew Mark stranded at third base with the 3 out here in the top half of the 8th inning. And after 7.5 innings from Blue Sox Stadium, the Sydney Blue Sox hanging on to that 1-0 lead in front of Auckland.
Design Choice brings every space to life with a design solution that is conceptually beautiful, practical, cost-efficient and durable for even the toughest commercial environments. Working with clients in the furniture industry for over 20 years, you can rely on their knowledge and their high-quality products. The Design Choice team know that selecting the right piece of furniture might just be the difference between becoming just another restaurant or becoming the destination hotspot. So to see some of their creative designs, head to designchoice.net.au. Design Choice are proud sponsors of the Sydney Blue Sox.
Welcome back to the action at Blue Sox Stadium as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning for the Blue Sox. It will be Boss Moanaroa leading off, and the boss man ready to fire.
Blue Sox would love a little bit of insurance here, Harrow. They're only up by that one solitary run. It has been a defensive game all around. The Tuatara have been good. They just haven't been able to get a couple of hits on the board that they need. Josh Guy was superb, holding them to one hit through that first 6 innings. And the Blue Sox now with an opportunity, bottom of the 8th, to maybe get an insurance run or two, make it a little bit easier for Tyrell Harris, who I believe will come in to close this one out.
And hits one right out to right field and drops in front of Josh McAdams. Josh McAdams could not get to it. He made an attempt, then decided he had to pull up to even field the ball to start with. No change on the mound. Lucas Jacobson still out there.
Just checking those defensive changes, Harrow. They are as we expected them to be.
Oh, Bishop's gone.
He is out of the game, yep. Johnny Homza
from third base
to the plate. Josh Morgan goes across to third. From second, and Kent Blackstone goes into play second base.
Thanks, Cam. At the plate, of course, Michael Krause. You can see him out there. Moanaroa standing at first. A single to the right field side. Well hit ball there from Moanaroa to get things started for the Sox in the bottom of the 8th to see if they can build some insurance. See if Michael Krause should be able to back him up here. A check swing. Yeah, appealed and called. First base umpire Trent Thomas says yep. Attempted to hit the ball.
I've got to actually make a correction to that, Harrow.
Something different?
Yeah, it is actually something different. I did check that, and Yoni Hernandez wearing the 6. I can't see him out there. Wearing jersey 6. He
jersey
looks like
4. Who's in jersey 6? Jersey 4 is Hernandez.
Oh, sorry, jersey 4 for Hernandez. A swing and a miss for Michael Krause. Looking down at the third baseman. Oh no, Josh Morgan is wearing
2.
Jersey 2. Yep, it is him at third base. Sorry, no, you are right.
Phew. Thank you.
We are right. I saw a jersey number out there that didn't quite correlate, but all is good.
Got a replacement. Connor McDonald, I believe, number 20 stepping in. Yes, it is. For Trent D'Antonio.
In the DH role.
Runner at first, Moanaroa. McDonald in there to replace D'Antonio. Let's see if he can open something up here. Big hard swing. Needs to get the ball through the infield for Moanaroa to move into scoring position and to provide opportunity for the Blue Sox here in the bottom of the 8th inning. McDonald steps in again and readies himself to face the left-hander, Jacobson. 0-2 count. Jacobson throwing a tempter up high out of the zone. Ooh-wee. What a game. McDonald ready again. The 1-2 pitch this time. And gets McDonald swinging. He goes down on strikes. A big K2 swing on that one for Connor McDonald. 2 out now with a runner at first base. That will bring to the plate Randy Esteban for the Sox. Hit a double to the left field side in his previous appearance tonight. Bottom of the 6th inning, he hit a great double. He was left stranded in that bottom of the 6th though. And that was a double to 7 with 2 out. Now we've got 2 out, but with a runner on base this time. Jacobson missing. High outside. Stay tuned after the game, after the completion of the game, 9 innings. There is likely to be an on-field interview live from the ground here at Blue Sox Stadium. So stay with us. And all things going well, we'll be able to have Big Cam down there with an interview or so. Geelong Korea leading the Melbourne Aces 10-2 in the 6th inning. Fouled off. That's a big turnaround from the previous game. The early game was taken by Melbourne 12-2 over Geelong. And in the second game of the doubleheader, Geelong leading Melbourne 10-2.
An 18-run turnaround.
Absolutely massive.
That's baseball.
Somebody help me. Santi Esteban with a 1-2 pitch coming from Jacobson. And he gets him swinging a fastball, top of the zone. A big K2. 3 K2s in a row there from Jacobson. Sits down the Sydney Blue Sox. They leave Moen Aroa stranded at first. But after 8 completed here at Blue Sox Stadium, it is the Blue Sox leading the Tuatara by 1-0.
Lush Greenery is your comprehensive commercial supplier for all your artificial greenery requirements. From concept to completion, they are there every step of the way to guide you through and make sure your garden or interior area looks amazing. Lush Greenery covers all of your interior or exterior designs, from a range of barn doors and green walls, from planter boxes to climbing vines, and many, many more different designs. To see examples of their spectacular work and for more information, head to lushgreenery.com.au. Lush Greenery are proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
And that they are. Now the change we were anticipating for the Sydney Blue Sox is on the mound. And the big tall number 41 Tyrell Harris strides out.
The Blue Sox 3 outs away from taking the lead in the series 2-1 and narrowing the gap to the division leaders by another victory.
There we go, the water balloons bursting on the roof of the grandstand, the bottom half of the roof that is. Not only wetting one person, but numerous people in the crowd.
Well, they have a bit of a contest here, Harrow, that Funky Phil fires them up into the crowd. If you catch them, you're allowed to throw them back.
Yep.
If you hit him with the throwback, you win a double pass to Raging Waters here in Western Sydney, the big water park that we have here in the west of Sydney.
Beautiful. Top of the 9th inning coming up for the Sydney Blue Sox.
We apologise if you are chatting to us on the YouTube feed. The chat seems to have stopped. So if you are asking questions and we're not answering them, we aren't ignoring you. We can't see you. Unfortunately, the chat there seems to have crashed. The top of the 9th inning, and the Tuatara will start at the top of their lineup. So every opportunity, Hernandez, Homza, Morgan, the due-ups.
Big finish coming up to this game. Game 2 between Adelaide and Perth is still in the 5th inning. 0-0 the scoreline, an arm wrestle there.
It doesn't look like they've got back on there at Brisbane at the moment.
Brisbane still suspended due to rain. We're being informed by our contact from Sports Broadcasting Australia, Glenn Long, up there communicating with us.
He did say at 8:45 that they would give it about 45 minutes to an hour and then make a decision. There is no scheduled Sunday game, so they can't finish it before a Sunday game. It will be very interesting to see what the decision being made up there at Holloway Park is. But a massive ninth inning in front of us here at Blue Sox Stadium. Tyrell Harris looking for a save. The Blue Sox looking for a massive win. Starting off against Yoni Hernandez. Starts off with a ball. Hasn't done a massive amount of pitching this season. Harris has been seen in 15 games for 28.1 innings pitched. Has a 1-win, 2-loss record, but does have 4 saves for the Blue Sox.
He's the man we want out there.
Quickly falls behind 2-0, however. This one is too far inside and falls behind 3-0. And you know if Yoni Hernandez gets on, they will be either bunting him across to second or he'll be trying to steal second.
Absolutely, he's got some wheels.
Because if he gets to second, all you have to do is get one through the infield and he scores, and we are level.
3 straight balls from Harris.
And 4 straight balls.
Hernandez trying to buy the walk there.
I thought he had it for a second. It
no.
just takes a second for Riley Barrington to turn and fire the strike.
Certainly well over the plate, and I thought the height was good, which the umpire agreed with. Not my call. He draws the walk this time, does Hernandez.
Just had to wait an extra pitch. So now the fun and games begin.
It's going to be tough. Top of the 9th inning. Blue Sox 3 outs away from the win.
Now bat number 7, the catcher, Johnny Homza.
Johnny Homza is having a good long look at the signals being put down by the third base
be
coach.
Careful. Yep.
Eunice playing well in on the grass already at third base. He's expecting bunt. See what Homza does. Does he square up? No, he doesn't. He takes the first pitch for a called strike.
The strategies of management.
So again now Homza steps up, and again the third base coach is going to go through a long set of signals, making sure everybody knows exactly what is going on. I've got a feeling he's going to bunt on this one just from the actions of the first base coach. I reckon he might square up here. 0-1 pitch, and Harris thought the same, almost threw it away. Moanaroa had to leap off the bag to get that throw over from Harris.
Great job by the boss man. Good stretch, good reach. He wasn't going to let that get by.
Hope you're enjoying your Saturday night baseball here in Sydney. BlueSox.tv, Big Cam Hickson, Paul Harrow-Harradine, bringing you all the action. The 9th inning, the Blue Sox leading by 1.
Nice
breaking pitch from Harris, misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Wow, the crowd on the edge of their seats.
This would be a massive win for this ball club if they can hang on, the Sydney Blue Sox here, to this 1-run advantage.
1-1 count.
Harris set, the runner goes. It's a hit and run, and he lines it into left. Rounding second and thinking about third, going halfway. The throw's a chance at second base. No, back in time.
Wow.
Is Hernandez. He rounded a long way, left himself almost going 1 step too far, but he got the brakes on in time and got back to second base. That would have been tragedy if he'd have turned too far and got posted there at second base for the Tuatara, but he dives back in. A hit and run. Base hit for Johnny Homza. And all of a sudden, I was going to say, all of a sudden, the Tuatara runners at first and second, nobody out. They trail by 1. Barclay going out just to give some orders, I would imagine, on Morgan. Nobody working in the bullpen. There's nobody up and throwing. Chris Oxspring about to head himself to the bullpen.
Well, maybe they should have been there anyway. Murphy's giving a discussion now and some instructions to the whole infield on how they're going to defend this.
Well, they're obviously...
That's the plan.
They're obviously talking about a bunt rotation. This is the perfect opportunity now to drop a bunt, move 2 runners into scoring position. So they're obviously talking about what rotation they're going to use, who's going where. Are both corners going to charge? Are they going to leave maybe the pivots in double play positions? What are they going to work on? What are they going to try and get done here?
Morgan steps in. Hernandez tempting Harris to throw at second base.
Oh, you may as well. You're only a yard or 2 off the base. If he makes a wild throw and puts it into centre field, you might score. So Morgan at the plate, and Harris will turn. Threaten Hernandez back to second base.
Umpire calling time, so Hernandez gets time to regroup, get some dirt out of his trousers.
There's the rotation. They're expecting bunt, nothing happening. Morgan taking the entire way, never even squared up.
Happy birthday message for Emerson Martinez by the look of things.
Oh, there we go. Saw Emerson go around in the Friday night game. So I would imagine after throwing Friday night, he'll be in line for some action tomorrow,
no doubt,
if required.
1-0 pitch now from Tyrell Harris.
But he'll be a year older tomorrow, Harrow.
Watch those old guys.
Morgan waits patiently. This one
Nice
is in
pitch.
there for a called strike on the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Morgan giving up nothing in the first 2 pitches. Was he taking all the way for the first strike and then working it from there? Let's see. One pitch, and Harris again decides to spin around and look Hernandez back at second base.
Andy Burns patrolling second behind Hernandez. Gets a swing at the plate out of Morgan.
Well, that should take the bunt off the table. I'm not saying it will. There's been some coaches that have decided to bunt with 2 strikes in situations like this, but it should take it with a hitter like Morgan. It should take it off the table. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This would be a massive out if Harris could get this at the plate for the Blue Sox.
Corners have dropped back.
So they're not expecting bunt. They won't get it. Morgan just misses as he led to pass on the outside edge. Harris trying to attempt a swing out of Josh Morgan. Josh Morgan having none of it.
Just to get the important first out. Or a double play, even better.
A strikeout at the plate would be enormous for the Blue Sox if Harris could manage to find a way. Terrell Harris sets, breaking pitch has popped up. That'll do. Infield fly if fair. It's not, it's in foul territory. Moen Aroa on the warning track in foul territory takes the catch. And the Blue Sox have a massive first out. It was signalled an infield fly if fair by the umpires, which is a good job. They got on that early. But it drifted into foul territory. Moen Aroa followed it across for the out. Now the Blue Sox a double play away from ending it.
So important to get that very first out. The force is here. Walker steps in now.
He is the danger man for me. He is the man that could just launch one over the fence and rip the hearts out of all these Blue Sox fans. Well over 1,300 in here tonight, Harrow. We were getting messages it was around the 1,600 mark.
Excellent. Hernandez being forced to hustle back to second base as Harris steps off again. Sandy Esteban over there behind second as Andy Burns covers the gap between first and second. that 3-4 gap. Burns across wide now. Seeing if they can get a ground ball through there off the bat of Walker.
Just high, that first pitch from Harris.
Just a little. If there's 1,300 or 1,500 people here, Cam, they're all umpires at the moment.
There's groans and moans with every single pitch.
We need the electronic buttons in their hand.
The Blue Sox faithful would love to see them get out of this. Harris again, he's having long looks at Hernandez. Hernandez trying to buy a throw. Oh, and that one down in the dirt, well handled by Murphy.
He's also trying to disrupt Harris on the mound.
Absolutely. You take a little bit of concentration away from Terrell, and who knows, he throws one away and all of a sudden your runners are at second and third, and you haven't really had to do any work to get there. So a 2-0 pitch to Walker coming. Breaking pitch, misses outside. And look, as much as you never want to load the bases, Jared Walker can hurt you.
And if they do, they get to Kim.
And it's no easier going to Kim than it is to Walker, to be honest.
.30 pitch.
Yeah, the 3-0 pitch again. Hernandez jumping around, taking a secondary lead, and that one misses outside as well. Ball 4. He will walk. Jared Walker. He will load the bases with 1 out, and that will bring Kiwi Kim, Wong Suk Kim, to the plate. Batting .289 for the season, Kim.
Oh, wow.
So a double play through the plate, double play through the corners. We'll end it. A base hit will give the Tuatara the lead. Misses low.
Over the plate, but low.
Orel Harris has pitched himself into a jam. Can he pitch his way out of it? 2 outs away, the Blue Sox, from a big win. But the Tuatara threaten again. Misses high. Now in real trouble, Harris. Oxspring throwing in the bullpen for the Blue Sox. Murphy going to try and calm him down a little bit.
Yeah, kill a little bit of time as well. Take the rhythm out of the game.
Murphy just out there to say, mate, you've got to throw strikes in this situation. You've got to make him swing the bat.
Yep. Get that ground ball. Let the field do the work. Let your buddies back you up.
Another infield pop-up like the last bloke. You've got to make him swing the bat.
Who rocks? Who rocks? Who rocks? Who rocks?
So Harris settles now, comes set for the 2-0 pitch, and does challenge Kim, and Kim chops it foul down the third base line. The Tuatara fans are trying to cheer Wong Suk Kim on. The Blue Sox fans are making as much noise as they can for the man straight out of Compton, Big Terrell, the T-Dog Harris.
He's the man. He's got that bat swinging now.
That strike will do his confidence the world of good. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. The bases loaded. The Blue Sox in front, 1-0. Harris reaches back, fires it in. It's chopped down the third base line. Eunice will make sure that it goes foul. Watches it go foul. And strike number 2 on the board against Wong Suk Kim.
Just what the Sox need. Couple of swings there out of Kim. Will accept the strikeout. Whatever Harris can get delivered.
That would be massive again if he could find the strikeout here. Get that second out, all important second out. And then the toughest out in baseball, the third out in the top of the ninth to close it out.
Yeah,
there it is, the
gets
swing and the miss. Kim goes down on strikes. Harris and the Blue Sox get a massive second out here at the plate.
You're the man, Tyrell Harris.
Murphy pointed straight at him once he had that ball secured. Kiwi Kim can't get it done. It'll now fall to Andrew Mark. The final out. Will it be the final batter for the Tuatara? Will the Blue Sox get the out? Will the Tuatara find a levelling run? Harris reels back and fouls it straight to the netting. Does Andrew Mark.
Attention, somebody get me a brandy. Medicinal purposes only.
I'll have a fruit tingle. Blue Sox fans starting to get on their feet, waving anything that they've got that is sky blue. Harris reaches back, misses outside.
That's exactly where catcher Murphy wanted it.
One ball, one strike, two out. The bases are loaded. Harris set. Misses outside again.
Oh, he can't walk.
Doesn't have any empty bases.
I'm done, Cam.
He can't give up a walk. Arrow's out of fingernails. He's working on stubs now.
Come on, Tyrell Harris.
This one lifted into left field. It's a base hit. It'll score one. It will score two. The Tuatara are going to take the lead here in the top of the ninth. A clutch two-out base hit from Andrew Mark will score Hernandez. It will score Hamza, and the Tuatara take a 2-1 lead here in the top of the ninth.
So it ain't over yet. We could be here a while. Jared Walker now stands at second base. Andrew Mark at first base. Two out. Top of the ninth inning. Josh McAdams.
Harris has to get the Blue Sox out of this innings now. Any further damage might be a bridge too far. No swing from McAdams. No. One ball, one strike.
Clearly a check swing. Messages coming in thick and fast from New Zealand. Woohoo, Pinky.
Andrew Mark getting that job done. Harris misses outside again. A clutch hit here in the top of the ninth from Andrew Mark.
Wow.
Two out. 2 RBI single to give the Tuatara the lead. Swing and a miss from McAdams. The count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Harris looks in for the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss from McAdams. He will be the third out, but the Tuatara have done the damage here in the top of the ninth. Andrew Mark is the man for the moment. He finds a 2-out, bases loaded single, and that will give the Tuatara the lead here in the top of the ninth inning. So the Blue Sox, they are now down to 3 outs to try and find a way to get out of this one. The
Wow,
Tuatara
Cam.
lead the Sox 2-1 heading to the bottom of the ninth.
And they got 2 hits in that top of the ninth as well. 2 runs off 2 hits. And as you say, Cam,
They've
they
been
sneak ahead.
out-hit 4 hits to 9,
Yes,
and they lead at 2 runs to 1.
absolutely. They've left 2 runners stranded out there as well. So throughout the game, Auckland have left 5 runners stranded thus far. So a massive top half of the ninth there for Auckland. But Sydney will bat in the bottom of the ninth on the positive side of the ledger. Jack Murphy will lead off. Murphy will lead off. His mission simply to get on base. Can Blue Sox manufacture that extra run they need to tie this game up at least and maybe even get in front? It will be Jack Murphy followed by Michael Campbell and Jacob Eunice.
So can the Blue Sox extend this game into extra innings? Can they walk it off?
Bottom of the ninth, new pitcher on the hill.
In front of them.
I believe it is
Having a look at our numbers. 24.
Alex, I thought.
24 is Elliot Johnston.
Elliot Johnston. Yes, it is. Oh, of course it is. Should have had a closer look at him.
The teal glove.
He is.
So Murphy, Campbell, Eunice to get the job done for the Blue Sox.
After leading the whole game here, Sydney Blue Sox just fall behind by 1. They've led by 1, that narrow lead since the 5th inning. So Jack Murphy stays in there to lead off. Steps into the left side. Elliot Johnston on the mound. The only change for Auckland. Fastball straight into the zone. Left alone by Murphy. Murphy needing to get something started. Doesn't matter how he gets on. The 0-1 pitch. Murphy gets one through. It goes to shortstop Hernandez. Hernandez gets it across to Walker at first, and they get the ground ball out from shortstop.
So the Blue Sox lose one of their outs here in the bottom of the ninth. Michael Campbell to the plate.
The 6-3 is the first out on Murphy. Michael Campbell strides in. Mixed bag tonight for Campbell. He can get there. He's had a double to left field. Johnson works fastball again, straight over the meat of the zone, straight through the middle. Campbell lays off it.
Taking all the way, Campbell. Wanting to see a pitch or two from Elliot Johnston before he swings away. Now has to see an 0-1 pitch, swings at that, fouls it off and quickly falls behind 0-2.
Keeps alive.
So Campbell ready to go again now behind 0-2. Blue Sox need a base runner. Campbell, a little bleeder into left field. He will be the base runner. It'll get down and sit down in front of Kim. And Michael Campbell, the tying run for the Blue Sox, is aboard.
Single to 7, nicely popped over there. Good contact hitting there from Campbell.
And all at the moment a base runner got on, the Blue Sox had pinch runners lined up, ready to come. Jalen Ray, Travis Pizzana, they were all down there stretching, ready to go. Campbell gets the job done and they go to the whip at Jalen Ray. Only a little man, but he runs like a greyhound. And he will head out to first base to pinch run for Michael Campbell.
Oh, wow. Jacob Eunice steps in. Tying run at first base.
Eunice 2 for 4 tonight. as he fouls that one back into the facade of the grandstand, comes back onto the infield.
Straight back through the middle of the roof. As you said earlier, Cam, on Andy Burns. Not much in it from being straight out there.
And the Tuatara are going to have a little bit of chat about this.
Yep. What can they do with Eunice? They're aware of the runner. They know what Jalen Ray can do. They'll just combine notes to make sure they're on the same page. But it's Eunice they have to worry about, not so much Jalen Ray.
So Johnston facing Eunice. Pitches on fastball. Eunice hits it into right field. It's going too far though. It is going down to the throat of Josh McAdams. There is out number 2 for the Blue Sox. They are down to their final out to try and find a way out of this game. I suppose if you had to put 2 people onto the on-deck circle for the Blue Sox, Alex Howe and Andy Burns would be the 2 men. Alex Howe to the plate, Andy Burns to the on-deck circle. Can they find a way to lift the Blue Sox here in the bottom of the 9th?
It's a pressure moment with 2 out here, a runner at first. In fact, the tying run at first.
They say when you're 1 down, all you need is a bloop and a bomb. We've had the bloop. Can we now get the bomb from Alec Howe? Pick off attempted first, keeping Ray honest.
Oh, you can feel the tension.
The Blue Sox down to their final out, but they do have the tying runner at first, and Alex Howe takes all the way for a called strike. Doesn't look like anybody has left the stream, Harrow. We've still got 1,000 viewers in there tuned in.
Lock it in, it's the game of the night.
All
game
on the edge of their
series.
seats. Maybe a game of the year for these 2 clubs, the way their years might turn out. That one misses inside on Howe. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Tuatara win. They just managed to stretch that advantage on top of the division.
Wow.
If the Blue Sox win, all of a sudden the top of the division comes that 1 game closer back to them. One pitch to Howe. Breaking pitch is in there for a called strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Howe.
Howe taking the odds to it there.
The Blue Sox down to their last strike. Are they? It is. It's a swing. It's a miss. Howe goes down on strikes, and the Auckland Tuatara will steal one here in Sydney. They will win it 2 runs to 1, courtesy of 2 runs in the top of the 9th inning. Andrew Mark with the clutch 2-out single with loaded bases. And the Tuatara take this one 2 runs to 1. And the big fan base of Blue Sox here are gutted. All the air let out of the stadium as the Blue Sox have worked so hard all night to restrict the Tuatara to only 2 hits before the start of the 9th inning. And only 2 hits in that 9th inning was enough to give them the 2 runs that they needed for victory.
On the other side of the ledger, the Sydney Blue Sox come up with 10 hits, 1 run produced, and they cannot prevent the Tuatara just overtaking him at the death, top of the 9th innings. They held on to that slender lead. The crowd gutted, the commentary team gutted. Wow, there was so much hanging on that game for the Blue Sox. And word that the Brisbane and Canberra game as well, postponed is the terminology being used. Postponed.
That's an interesting choice.
So we'll wait to see what the outcome of that is tomorrow. But that might all depend. ABL will make the decision at the management level on what transpires there. Kids still out there celebrating that they can run around the infield. But gee whiz, the Sydney Blue Sox will retreat to the dugout with all hopes there of taking that game and leading the series by 2-1. They will come back tomorrow for the 4 o'clock game to see what they can do to at least square the series and maybe keep themselves in touch depending on what transpires, especially with Brisbane and Canberra. Tuatara, as you said, Cam, they open that gap up just that little bit more from the teams that are following them and confident of chasing them down, but maybe not to be. Tuatara may well go to the top of that table and stay there.
Well, they've got one last home series this year, I believe. I believe they've still got one over there. I would have to just check the schedule to confirm that.
Next week, Sydney will go to Brisbane. We've talked about that all weekend as well. They have to face Brisbane and then they have to face Canberra. To be in the mix at the end of regular season play, Sydney will need to take a complete series, if not the sweep, off both of those clubs.
Yeah, the Bandits heading across the ditch to North Harbour Stadium, and the Tuatara have won their last 11 in a row at that venue, so they are going to be supremely hard to beat. They swept Korea, they swept the Blue Sox.
They'll be confident, let's put it that way. It's still going to be tough.
Correct.
And, wow, one game tomorrow, so 9 games left to be played.
Sorry, I just got that wrong, Harry. They're going to Canberra next week, the Tuatara, and then the Brisbane Bandits are heading across. Sydney are going to Brisbane next week.
Yep.
And Auckland are going to Canberra.
Yep. And then the last round will be Tuatara Brisbane.
Brisbane going across to play Auckland at home.
Wowee, what a finish to
Canberra
this
coming
season of regular season play.
Sorry, I'm still a little bit gutted by the fact that...
Well, we're all in shock, I think. And that result was, we thought we were confident that Sydney would have held on to that game. But the back end of the games, pitching changes, and all the strategies in the world for both coaches, realistically. But
what
as you said,
quality
Cam,
outing by both starters, though. What quality pitching we saw here tonight in the early stages. Josh Geyer was superb on the mound for the Sydney Blue Sox. He threw his lights out. He couldn't throw much better than that in the 97 pitches he threw. He was superb. He gave up one hit in those 6 innings, and he really gave the Blue Sox the chance to go on with it. Cole Meta on the other side, he was good for the Tuatara as well. He kept them there, just gave up that 1 run, but the Blue Sox couldn't find a way to close out the Tuatara, and they just kept coming like good teams do.
Great game of baseball. And wow, look at the time. It's only just gone 9:45. So, about just over 3 hours, 3 hour and 10 minute game over the 9 innings. And what a battle it was between these two clubs. Absolutely fantastic. A good game of baseball. There are a number of highlights in that game that could be used as a coaching manual. We mentioned them during play. But I'll tell you what, I'm almost out of words, breathless for that end. And I was ever confident that the Sox were going to retain that. They put on a great display of baseball. It's been a great contest. Game 1, we know what happened there. Game 2, reversed that result. That leveled things up, and tonight was a real leveler. You don't get closer than a 1-run result after 9 innings of play. It may have been worthy of extra innings game, this one. But ever hopeful not to be for the Blue Sox, and hopefully they can come back tomorrow, get regrouped and square it all up. It's going to be interesting for both clubs tomorrow to see who they can bring to the mound and what their depth is like in the bullpen.
Well, I know for a fact that Di Pasquale will start for the Blue Sox. Quinn Di Pasquale will start there, and we'll see how they work around that. But as I said, that could be a season-defining win for the Auckland Tuatara to get away with that one. It certainly will break the hearts of some of the Blue Sox.
We are going to wrap it up and have an earlier night than we've been having for the last few weeks. I can tell you now, it's been a big go, and for everybody involved. Good to see so many fans and supporters down in front of the Blue Sox dugout getting autographs as well and still supporting the guys. And they've got everything ahead of them now over the next couple of weeks. And let's hope they can come to the fore and keep this club rocking and rolling as we get towards the postseason.
It just means they've got to win one extra game somewhere else now, Harrow. That's all the equation comes to. They were hoping to win this series 3-1. Just means they've got to pick up another game somewhere else.
Yeah, maybe a sweep and then maybe 3. maybe 8. Who knows?
Get up there, beat Brisbane 3-1 at home. Come down here, sweep Canberra 4-0 at home to finish the season. You finish with a win tomorrow, and all of a sudden, your worst case scenario, you run second spot depending on what Auckland do. But you still got second spot wrapped up. You're still playing playoffs.
And see how the cards fall.
You make it to that playoffs, it's a whole new ball game once you make it to the playoffs. You've seen the Bandits do that in the past. They sneak in the last week and then go bang, bang, bang and win the championship.
Yeah, they certainly do. We are going to wrap it up. We're going to thank our Techo guys, all the video and audio. Oscar and Owen Talahuta doing a fantastic job. Thanks, gentlemen. And the fans are really enjoying your work, I know. Cam and myself, on behalf of Big Cam, I'm Harrow. Thanks for tuning in. Please tune in again tomorrow, the 4 p.m. game here in Eastern Daylight Savings Time in Australia. And to all you Auckland fans, keep supporting. And to the Blue Sox fans, stay loyal, stay with us, get on the back of the Blue Sox. If you don't want to watch the broadcast, get your backside, trackside out here on the edge of the Dollarite and the warning track. Get a great seat for tomorrow afternoon's game. Everything's here for you, the music, the entertainment, and of course those concession stands downstairs. Get in and buy some merchandise, the Blue Sox stuff, the visiting teams, they're all there. On behalf of Sports Broadcasting Australia and Blue Sox TV, thanks for tuning in. Please do it again tomorrow. Tell your friends and family. Good night for now.
See you, everybody.
Are you struggling with the rising cost of power? You are not alone. Over 2 million Australian homes have now installed solar. The average size solar system can save you around $500 a quarter, add value to your home and reduce your carbon footprint. SolarAy is Australia's largest independent solar and storage installer, located right here in Blacktown. Talk to the team at SolarAy to find out if solar is right for you. Visit solaray.com.au/Blue Sox today. SolarAy Energy, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
In 1928, Petrus Cornelis Nicholas Middendorp founded his business, Middendorp Electric Goods Supply Company, selling imported light globes, vacuum cleaners and other electrical products. Business began booming, so Petrus and his sons opened the first Middendorp branch in a converted church on La Trobe Street in Melbourne in 1956. This was the first of many branches that would eventually spread across the country, trading as Middies in its signature pink colour.